Oh my God, there is so much wrestling to talk about this week. As a matter of fact, in the last 2 weeks, because we took a show off for Christmas and New Year's. So we're back to talk all about All Elite Wrestling, Raw and SmackDown announcements made. Raw was here in Detroit. A couple of us attended that. Plus, New Japan's WrestleKingdom is happening this weekend. We get into all that and more this week as we...
Are you ready? No! I said, are you ready? Woo! You just made the list! Oh, I knew he was going to do that. I just knew he was going to do that. He don't need Janetti. You don't know what hard times are, Daddy. Austin 316 says I just whipped your ass. The cream goes to the top, oh yeah. It's some man with the rock in cooking. Bullet Club for life, good bout, and good night. They got the answers. I change the questions.
Oh, it's true. It's damn true.
Ladies and gentlemen, you are listening to the most inappropriate wrestling show in the motherfucking world. You're listening to Breaking Down the Ring, and we are your ring crew.
Just Z.
Whole fucking Joe.
And me, the all-Mikey one, Mikey himself. There's a little lack of diversity today. Normally, Smitty's here, and we have two for our diverse actions, being Joe and Smitty, but we just have Joe.
I'm more than enough.
That's what she said, and now you have a child. So, boys, we took a little bit of time off. And
'twas the holiday season.
Right, you know, it was like it was the day after Christmas. And we almost
and all through the house.
Right, everything was stirring from Vince McMahon's mouth. He came up and he cut that promo as dressed as Vince's Santa Claus. It was McManta Claus.
Yeah,
is what they called it,
Mr. McMahon Claus.
And you know, he said, "Oh, we got things coming, and the big time thing is in the new year, new product and everything." And then they announced new women's tag title belts.
Yeah, they sure did. I mean, they're talking about like changes going forward in a new product, but doesn't just like, you know, the very essence of McMahon Claus just scream like old tired hat, like something like WWF or E would do like for the previous 15 years.
I don't know, man. And I'll say I don't know because, you know, we were talking about it. December 15th, 1997 is when Vince cut that first "We Need to Evolve" promo. And that's how we got the Attitude Era. You know what I'm saying? Like, he saw that they needed to change. They needed something different.
Was that before or after the screw job? That was right after.
It was
wasn't
it was a month after.
Yeah. Okay.
Because November 97 was the screw job at Survivor Series.
Okay.
A month later, maybe 2-3 weeks later is when they cut that promo for Raw. And my thought process on it is Vinnie Mac's not going to come out and admit that they need to evolve out loud, especially when he doesn't want to be on TV, unless something's really going to change.
For a guy that doesn't want to be on TV, he's sure been on TV a lot the past few weeks.
But no, that's because he has to. He feels he has to now to show a change.
He doesn't have to.
I don't know.
Nope.
See,
in order to show a real change, he should stay the fuck away from the product. That would be a change.
See,
that would be a real change.
Man, you
can't wait for the XFL. Can't wait. I fucking hate football, but I cannot wait for the XFL.
But that's, again, nothing to do with WWE. Allegedly.
I'm sure it'll take quite a bit of his attention. I hope, anyway. That's wishful thinking.
And then it'll put Triple H in a little bit more charge? Is that what you're hoping?
Right now, I'm like in the anyone but Vince boat.
Man, but Vince has done so much, dude. So much good. More good than bad.
it's I don't know. That's subjective.
No, I think Mikey's right with that one. He has done more.
He's
good than bad.
he's done great for the business.
I'll agree that the product
A
sucks
lot of his
lately.
creative decisions over the years, I could disagree with or go without.
And I agree with that too. I'm definitely not going to argue that.
It's
There's
like
not-
I wish WWE was a team of like Vince McMahon, the businessman, and like Paul Heyman, the booker. You know,
right.
that would be amazing. You know, because I'll never knock Vince's business skills, not ever. He's a great businessman. He's done wonders for the wrestling or sports entertainment business, whatever you want to call it.
Well, it's wrestling business. He doesn't want to say it. But
I know,
that
that's
doesn't
what
matter.
I would like to call it,
Right.
but-
That we'll call it what we want to call it.
Okay, then.
For us, it's
the wrestling business
Yeah.
then.
We're an inappropriate wrestling show. We talk a lot of WWE because it's wrestling.
Well,
He doesn't have to say it, and he cannot say it because it takes away because you're definitely putting in the entertainment part, and that's fine. You know what I'm saying? I will fully agree that WWE is more of an entertainment product, regardless if you find it entertaining or not, than it is a wrestling product. And hopefully they're going to get a little bit back into the wrestling.
I was about to say that could be one of their biggest problems and why the ratings have been the way they were.
Yeah,
as of
because it's
late.
not entertaining. I agree. So before we go into all of this announcement with the women's tag team championship, what happened on Raw, what happened on SmackDown, lead up for the Royal Rumble, really, really big news hit today specifically is what I really want to talk about first, as we always do. Anytime something major happens, a passing of someone, we go right into that. Originally, the big news was AEW, and we'll get into that later. But now we're going to talk about the passing of one of the great interviewers of all time, and for any sport.
The
I'm sorry.
greatest.
The greatest.
Yeah, I don't think there's anyone I can think of. There's a few up there. You know, I would say Craig Sager with basketball, really fucking great. Him and his suits and everything like that. You know, I'm talking about the greatest in wrestling for sure. One of the greatest for all-time sports interviewers, anything like that.
I mean, it speaks volumes that it was all over social media today, and we're not just talking like wrestling groups, like
Yeah,
sports,
it got
sports,
ESPN,
yep,
yep.
exactly.
Yep,
like,
Sky
it was
Sports,
national
ESPN.
news.
I mean, people were covering it.
So
Even like the Golf Network was covering it because the sketch that Bobby and Mean Gene did on the golf course back in the day.
Yep. So if you guys haven't gathered yet, Gene Okerlund, Mean Gene, passed away today, January 2nd, 2019. And of course, as always, Z gives our 10-bell salute for him. I like how you had that counting down this time.
Yeah, I figured I'd go on a more consistent basis.
I'm be honest, I lost count.
No, the last time we did it, he was like 1, 2, and then as it
3,
got
4,
high,
5,
yeah,
6.
it was like 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Jeez, here we go again with this microphone. I really have to talk to Dave about this, man. So Eugene Arthur Okerlund is his actual real name. So Gene Okerlund. He was born December 19th, 1942. So, man, just after his 76th birthday, he passed away. He went to University of Nebraska. He started in wrestling in 1970, the American Wrestling Association. He was in the radio industry for a little bit, and then he took a position in American Wrestling Association, where he occasionally this is coming from Wikipedia. It's where we always go. I promise you, it's the most knowledgeable source on wrestling ever is Wikipedia. It said he occasionally filled in for ailing ring announcer and interviewer Marty O'Neill, and eventually becoming O'Neill's permanent replacement by the end of the decade. He joined the WWF in 1984. And man, he was there for 9 years. Interviews and segments such as, like, it was him that brought the Mega Powers together, talked about the Mega Powers when they came together. It was him that was conducting the interview on Macho Man when Macho Man cut the cream of the crop. Oh yeah, interview. It was him that did the gobbledygooker.
Fucking
And
gobbledygook.
danced with him in the center
Wasn't
of the
the
ring.
Shockmaster supposed to interview with him when that whole debacle happened?
I don't know. I tripped and fell. That gimmick just took a quick tumble.
So he just never broke through.
Right? So, yeah. Again, did a whole bunch of stuff. Just so Z, we'll start with you, man. What is some of the things that just stand out to you his interviewing?
Well, for starters, I gave away my Mean Gene Okerlund autograph picture in our last giveaway, so I'm kind of butthurt about that right now. Beyond that, like, he was literally the voice of my childhood. Like, any interview with, I mean, there's not, I mean, it's been so long that there's not a particular one that comes to mind. But, like, I can, forever, I will know the sound of Mean Gene's voice. Like, it'll never leave my head. And his bloopers were great. If you've ever watched any of the outtakes from some of his interviews where he, like, fucks up and swears and it just off the wall shit, and then goes right back to being just an absolute professional. So, you know, he will be missed.
Yeah.
I just saw one where he was interviewing Rick Rude, and like the WWF banner hanging on the wall behind him fell off, and he was like, "Fuck it."
Yeah.
What about for you there, Joel?
Like I mentioned earlier, one of the ones that stand out is the little golf sketch with Bobby Heenan, where Mean Gene was trying to teach Bobby how to play golf, and of course Bobby was like cheating the whole way through. It's pretty funny. I remember a couple interviews he had with the Ultimate Warrior. Those, you know, needless to say, are going to be entertaining.
Yeah.
I did also watch the Cream of the Crop Macho Man one today.
Nice.
And I also watched the introduction of the third guy for the NWO with Hulk Hogan and the Outsiders with Mean Gene. And, you know, because announcers still took or interviewers, broadcasters, whatever position they held in the broadcast, you know, area of the company, they still took roles as like, I mean, they still kind of do it in the announce booth now, but not really. But back in the day, they still took roles as like heel or face, and Mean Gene was just the perpetual baby face. And
You couldn't turn him heel.
yeah,
No fucking way.
and just, you know, how butthurt he was about Hogan turning heel, and you know, and him displaying that, putting that on display during the interview, things like that, and just his back and forth with like Bobby Heenan and stuff. It's like a lost art, as you were saying. What was the basketball announcer you mentioned earlier?
Craig Sager.
Right, like and like guys like Bob Uecker, like there's like an announcing broadcasting art that has somewhere been lost along the lines. Now everyone is just so robotic, and
all they
so
do is take former players and tell them to read from a teleprompter and put them on TV.
Yeah, but that's color commentator. I'm more talking about. Can you guys hear me?
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm more talking about. This is weird because it's bad on my headphones. Like the interviewer, you know what I'm saying? The person who stands on the sidelines, because that's what Gene did. That's what Craig Sager did.
Right.
You know,
And that's if you look at like the people that do that now, like Charlie Caruso or whoever, these people are like personalityless, opinionless. You know, they stand there with a microphone and let the talent do. They don't add anything to the interview. Mean Gene always had something to add.
right? I agree with that wholeheartedly.
He was a character in himself. Okay, so like when he made his debut in WCW, they introduced him as like a character, and he got a pop from the crowd. Like you'll never see that happen with a backstage interviewer now. You know, these people are like nameless. You know, no identity.
Yeah.
They add nothing to the backstage segments anymore.
Yeah, he went. So he went from 84 to 93 in WWF. SummerSlam '93 was his last appearance in the WWF, and then Sunday, he went to, I apologize, he went to WCW on November 6, 1993, an edition of Saturday Night. WCW Saturday Night is where he made his debut there. And he was in WCW until 2001, until they closed. And made his return back to the WWE, WWF, WWE in 2001 at WrestleMania 17, where he was the Battle Gimmick Royal. It was him and Bobby the Brain. You know, then he did WWE Confidential, so on and so forth. And then he stayed.
He basically had a Legends contract from that point on.
Yeah, and he was with the WWE until he died this year.
Look at that career, man. What, 1970 to 1983 in the AWA, 83 to what, or 84 or whatever to 93 in the WWF, 93 to 2001 in WCW, and then 2001 until present, his time of passing back in the WWE.
Yeah, his
what a run, as they say.
His last appearance on WWE, January 22nd, 2018. He appeared in the 25th anniversary episode of Raw, and he interviewed AJ.
He's still regularly been on this season's Edge and Christian show too.
Yeah,
which is quite entertaining.
Oh yeah, no, it's good.
Not to go off track
yeah,
there.
It's so good. I agree with you.
Anyway, but yeah, he's been a regular character on that.
Yeah.
As well as Sean Mooney.
Now, was this sudden, or was he sick for a while? Because with all the stuff that he was involved in, I didn't even really know he was sick.
Yeah,
I noticed, and this is kind of weird, but I did notice, like, did you notice his right hand was like enlarged, like
no
gout or something like that? Like in recent years, I did notice that. And I noticed like when someone's got like, you know, fluid on like their ankles or their hand. I know that's not healthy. I do know that.
Yeah, nothing's been announced as to what happened. It's just that he passed away the morning of January.
And he was 76. I honestly thought he was older than that.
Yeah,
I was like, wow, he's
older.
only. That's what I was like. He's only 76.
Yeah,
I thought he was like well into his 80s.
yeah.
You know,
he was born in December
just because
19th,
he's been around for
1942.
so long. I guess.
Yeah, I
He
mean,
started young, apparently. You know.
Well, yeah, in 1970. So in 40, so he was 28 when he showed up in the AWA, and then he was 32 at WWF.
And he looks no different.
Sorry,
looked
no, I'm sorry, 42 when he hit.
Yeah,
WWF.
yeah, because
84. That's
yeah,
crazy.
Yeah, if he started in AWA in 1970,
Yeah.
and he started in WWF in 84.
Yep, and he was born in 42, so 22. 42, sorry. I keep saying 20. But yeah, man, Mean Gene is a fucking legend.
He's a legend.
Yeah, and he deserves his rightful Hall of Fame spot that he has. There's been a lot of talk around the wrestling community about him. I'll read some of these tweets off. Matt Hardy, rest in peace, to an absolute legend in our industry. Mean Gene was incredible in many roles, and as he wore many hats throughout his iconic career in pro wrestling. My thoughts are with his family and friends today. Dana Brooke, one of the most respected and never will be forgotten. Thank you for always being so kind when I would see you. Legends never die. Seth Rollins, super bummed about Mean Gene. Literally just sat down last week to do an interview about his legacy. He was the most iconic backstage interviewer in wrestling history, in my opinion. Ric Flair, one of my closest friends since 1972 until the very sad day in 2019.
Mean woo! By God, gee.
Not only the greatest voice and personality in the history of announcing, but a man who touched everyone's life who are fortunate enough to know him. Rest in peace, knowing no one will ever replace you. And he goes, and the next tweet is, you will forever be mean, by God, Gene.
Awesome.
Corey Graves, I will always value those days at the TV studio where Gene would have everybody rolling with laughter. Tonight, indulge in a vodka soda with a splash of cranberry and Okerlund in our business. Don't cry because we lost him. Smile because we had him. Coach, Mean Gene was one of my favorite people to be around. He was a man who loved the pro wrestling business and everything it had to offer and treated everyone the same no matter who you were. He is a reminder to enjoy every step of whatever your journey is, sorry. Samoa Joe, one of the very few regrets I harbor in my career. One was never getting to scream Mean Gene when answering the queries of a man whose presence was larger than life and ingrained in the better memories of my childhood. Rest in peace, Mean Gene. My condolences to the Okerlund family. Now, when I read that tweet, I can just totally hear Joe screaming Mean Gene, and it just, I wish I would have.
Yeah,
had
it's
that
a
now.
missed opportunity.
100%. Kurt Angle, very seldom does an interviewer become just as popular, and at the times even more popular than the superstars he or she interviews. Gene Okerlund was that person. I'm saddened to hear of Gene's passing. It was an honor to know you, Gene. Brandy Rhodes, my heart hurts to learn of the passing of my friend Gene Okerlund. He was a mentor to me with such a love for this business and the people around it. He will be severely missed by every heart that he touched. We love you, Gene. Gerald Briscoe? It just says FG Briscoe. I'm assuming it's Gerald Briscoe. WWE reports that Gene Okerlund has passed. Gene was loved by so many because he was such a great person in and out of business. No one ever has anything bad to say about him. Give Brother Jack a hug for me. Ziggler, I was always a big Mean Gene fan as a character and much more importantly as a person. We should say positive things about good people more often. Never know when you won't get another chance.
I have the LJN Mean Gene figure.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I should have brought that in.
Stone Cold, just heard Mean Gene Okerlund has passed away. As an interviewer, pitchman, announcer, or host, he was untouchable. Simply the best. Total professional with quick wit, sarcasm, humor, and that golden voice. Condolences to his friends and family. Let's see if I could find Jerry Lawler. So sad to hear of the passing of our friend Mean Gene Okerlund. I'll always remember Gene with a smile on his face and a drink in his hand and always wanting to help. He was the voice. Bruce Pritchard, rest in peace, Mean Gene Okerlund. Gene was the mold others aspired to be, without a doubt, one of the most talented individuals I have ever had the privilege to work with. Rest in peace, Gene, and thank you for all your wisdom and help throughout the years. I'm trying to find the Hulk Hogan one. Because, man, there is a fucking fuck ton. That's just all I could say. Well, the only one they fucking showed is Mean Gene, I love you, my brother, HH. He said more than that. Give me 2 seconds. I will say that this is the most I've ever... Anytime we've covered somebody's passing, there's been maybe a page that they'll show. Dude, this is 4 fucking articles of people that are saying rest in peace to Mean Gene. Like, that's nuts, dude. That is fucking nuts. And and again, he wasn't anything but, you know, the sideline guy. Just like it said, many people, like Kurt Angle said, no one should ever transcend the superstars that they're talking about, but he did. Here's the one
a lot of them.
Yeah. Fuck yeah. Here's the one, a picture of Gene and Hogan, and he goes, the best partner I ever had. We never rehearsed or did anything scripted from a writer. Gene would ask me, hey, big man, what do you want to do? I'd always answer, just follow you, brother. And it worked from 1980 to 2017. Rest in peace, my brother, Double H. Not Triple H, wrong H's. Obviously, there's other ones, but I really, you know, if you think anything, you're mainly thinking Hogan, Savage, you know, old school wrestling. Kevin Nash, you know.
Rude, Heenan, Ventura.
Yeah, Kevin Nash said that, obviously, a rib tweet, but it was like a little known fact. If Hogan said no, Gene was going to be the third member. Always replay. And then there was a picture of him and Gene giving themselves a too sweet. So, yeah, man, it's crazy. It's crazy. But he's still a legend. And again, rest in peace, Gene Okerlund. Now, let's get on to something that is going to be super controversial here.
Dun, dun, dun.
You know, Joe and I put something in, before I put it on our Twitter, I put something in our group chat, and I said, I can't wait to talk about how much I think All Elite Wrestling is going to suck. And Joe, like here in Detroit, there is a radio station, The Ticket. And it's like...
Don't give them any props, any mention.
It's a shit ticket, all right?
They suck.
Yeah. It seems like they go on the air just to argue. Like, whatever the point is, that most of them have... sure, there's some knowledge there, but there's a lot of arguing with not a
There's
bunch
no
of...
substance.
Yeah,
No substance.
yeah.
It's strictly opinion.
Yes. And... this is about to
familiar.
be. Yeah, that's what honestly what this is about to be. So I put that up, and Joe goes, "Man, we're gonna be like this." And I'm not gonna say the announcer's, the radio guy's name or anything. He's like, "That's what it's gonna be like." I'm like, "No, I genuinely feel this way. I don't want it to." And before we go into any of this, let me say, I am not wishing for Cody the Bucks, anyone involved in this starting of this to fail. I honestly would love to see this become a number 2 or number 1 promotion in wrestling in the United States. I would love that. I would love to eat my fucking words.
Nobody but WWE will ever be number 1.
You know, I could have said that before 2 weeks ago when they're at their lowest fucking ratings.
That doesn't matter though.
It does when it's money, because when they're signing TV deals,
They still have that huge deal already inked with Fox though.
that's fine. But if ratings are gonna continue to drop like this, they're not gonna get another huge deal the next year, and then it is gonna affect the bottom line. And then money is going to consistently drop. If they're not getting viewers, people aren't buying merch because they don't see the fucking shit. It's gonna become a network only thing, and it's gonna cost that company a lot of money. Possibly. If they didn't, but obviously we know that they're supposed to be changing, and we'll see within the coming months with what they do with that. However, so it's possible. I'm not saying it's probable. It's a very small chance, but it is possible that somebody might be able to take over WWE again in the ratings like WCW did.
As they say in this business, never say never.
Right.
But I mean, you're talking, in my opinion, like a less than 1% chance.
Again, no one thought WCW was going to do it either. You know,
I would have given them more of a chance than
when they first started.
Oh yeah,
when the Monday Night Wars,
had
dude.
talent.
No, I'm not talking Monday Night Wars. I'm talking when it was just World Class Championship Wrestling and then World Championship Wrestling. Before Bischoff was even given the reins and the money to go at it, it was still when he said, "Hey, we're going to start competing with them on Monday nights."
At that point, I don't know, but I mean, it was Turner bought Crockett,
Yeah.
and turned it into WCW because it was dying.
Yeah.
But when the NWA was in its heyday, yeah, that was definitely viable competition for WWF.
NWO you talk about?
No, NWA,
NWA.
pre-WCW.
Oh, okay, yeah. All right.
You know, that was the territory days. That was real competition. I mean, but even WWF actually used to be a part of the NWA until Vince Jr. broke off from them. But when it was that, yeah, it was real competition. But yeah, when it was first WCW, I would say no, not until the NWO hit and the Monday Night Wars started.
Okay. So again, that's 96.
96, 97.
Yeah. Well, Bash at the Beach 96 is when the NWO
But
started.
it really
Yeah.
caught fire 97,
Yes.
98.
So and I'll kick this off. I'll kick it off why I think it's going to suck before I take any points from anyone else. We're just starting to see indie, and I use air quotes with that, indie wrestling become a major player, right? No one has been a major player selling out things like
and even like with your quotes, indie wrestling is subjective. What is indie?
I'm saying
Is Ring of Honor indie? Some say yes, some say no.
right, and that's why I use quotes because when
We
I'm
got
talking
the
about
Bill
things blowing
Clinton
up.
of indie wrestling over here.
Right, yeah, I don't understand. I don't even what this world is. It depends on what your definition of is. But again, so indie wrestling, and by indie I mean they don't really have a TV deal. You know what I'm saying? I mean they kind of do, but they don't. It's nothing that's a regularly scheduled program that you can tune into on a weekly basis. Yet, ROH and New Japan just sold out Madison Square Garden. You know, they did it in I want to say 29 minutes, 27 minutes. It was less time than All In was sold out.
That was almost kind of a bamboozle the fans type thing though, because I think they sold that show out with the momentum that was being gained from like Omega and the Bullet Club and the Bucks, and those guys aren't even going to be on that show.
Okay, but again, they still sold it out, right? All In sold out in 29 minutes. 10,000 seats. Okay, billed as a once in a. Now let me get my points out before we go to any type of rebuttals. Billed as a once in a lifetime type thing. An indie, they build themselves as an indie promotion, doing something that nobody but the WWE had been able to do since early in the 2000s. Okay, that the closest thing was Impact in 2008, 2009. Whenever the Aces and Eights, and they sold like almost 8,000 in an arena, right? And that was like them versus AJ, and Bully versus AJ in the main event or something like that. That being said, Joe, right off the bat, you just build into my thing. it was kind of a bamboozle with ROH and New Japan, right? Built up off of this, everyone thought, holy shit, ROH, New Japan, Kenny's going to be involved, the Bucks, Cody, all these other great wrestlers for these companies are going to be here.
We don't really know what's going on with Kenny yet.
But as it stands right now, all of the members on the show being the Elite, 2 are possibly could possibly be at that show. Paige won't, Cody won't, and the Bucks won't, at least as of now. Well, I'm not saying, look, they can say all they want that they're not going to be there, but it's also very possible that with AEW, they work with these other companies.
Yeah, I was going to get into that later.
However, that would mean that they have something viable going in 3 months. 4 months. April 7th. Okay? Already, it took 2 promotions to combine to sell out Madison Square Garden with those Elite member names. They all sold out All In based off of those Elite members. We, on this show specifically, were kind of meh about All In. We thought the show had some good spots, great matches, the women's match. I remember that fully. Cody winning the NWA title. We were like, man, that's a great moment, him in his father's footsteps. Then we were like, yeah, but also Kenny won. Also Hangman won. Also the Bucks won. It was like they didn't, while they brought these wrestlers in, they didn't really put them over. Then there comes the article that Joe posted in our group, Breaking Down the Ring. More information, more details on Tony Khan's involvement with All Elite Wrestling. Straight up from WrestleZone, says, and I quote, more information has come out on Tony Khan's involvement with All Elite Wrestling. Not only is Khan helping fund the new wrestling promotion, but according to Pro Wrestling Sheet, he's also the official president of the company. That means that Tony Khan will be in the top role of the company. Expect him to take an active role rather than just putting his money in. According to previous reports, it looks like Cody will be the executive producer while the Young Bucks will be the bookers for the new promotion, in addition to being executive vice presidents for the company. Ring of Honor veteran BJ Whitmer, BJ, is also said to be a producer. What? I love that. And of course, they have this January 8th. They're announcing more at a Double or Nothing press event in Jacksonville the same day as SmackDown is in Jacksonville. So we've already seen all of these talents between Ring of Honor, New Japan, Impact's kind of getting a little bit of a push right now because they also joined up on the Jericho Cruise, who is also said to partially be in this. AEW, possibly. Jim Ross, possibly going to be involved in something, mainly with commentary as his WWE contract, I believe, expires Q1 this year. March, yeah. So
right before Mania, I think.
You got all these big names, and look, man, I'm hoping I'm wrong, but as far as I'm concerned, one, they're going to pull people from WWE, New Japan, Ring of Honor, and put them on All Elite Wrestling, right? The contract that they're talking about getting, and if this happens, I fully state that I'm probably going to eat my words here. The talk is maybe TNT or TBS.
That's why I posted that article, because that article, and it's just speculation at this point.
Right.
I didn't mean to cut you off,
Yeah.
but that article actually answers a couple of questions that I had, maybe more from your end, a skeptical type viewpoint. Because I'm like, if they don't have a solid financial backer and they don't have TV, they don't have shit.
Agreed.
So this article is saying the Khan family's willing to invest, or is going to invest, $100 million, and that they got a deal with, the Turner people, TBS, TNT, put wrestling back on those channels, which would be fucking great.
Yes.
So if that happens, yeah, that's fucking viable.
And already, I will state, when they're taking that
But
trademark,
we don't
Tuesday
know
Night
if that's going to
Dynamite,
happen or not.
Tuesday Night Dynamite, it seems like the television show that possibly will be happening.
Right, because
SmackDown's moving off
moved to
Tuesday to
Friday when they go to Fox.
So they're not even competing with WWE
right,
for
which
television.
is smart.
Agreed.
That was TNA's dumb move.
Yes. But my problem is that the wrestling scene is already really stretched out.
Saturated.
Yeah, it's already stretched out, right? You got people in Japan, you got people in ROH, you got people in Impact. All of them came together to put on a phenomenal cruise that you went on. But then you bring it back to the All-In pay-per-view. to where besides a couple good moments, that pay-per-view overall was just good. And that's stuff to build on, and that's fine, but it was just good, and it put over a lot of the people who ran it. Well, now those same guys are about to run All Elite Wrestling. And I'm not saying that they're going to put themselves over all of the time, but it's very possible. WCW went to shit because people started
inmates
having...
ran the asylum.
Yeah, people started running their own shit. And it's very, very possible that this could become something similar, maybe not as big, maybe not as bad, but if the inmates are running the asylum to start off with, and we saw how much they put themselves over in their own home pay-per-view, I don't know that this could ever be more than the 4th or 5th best wrestling promotion, even 10 years down the line. I see them falling to ROH, who is an established player. New Japan has sold out all of the venues that they had coming in this time, and they're looking to add a little bit more dates, right? Impact, it's getting better. I'm not going to say
better.
Yeah,
It is better. I actually caught.
yeah.
I wish I could watch it. That's what I was about. As a fan, going back to the oversaturation thing, I'm like, as a fan, overwhelmed
Yeah.
at the product. Like, I feel like, I got to make time to watch this. I got to make time to watch that. It's like, eventually some shit just gets thrown by the wayside, and you just don't see everything that you want to see.
And I see this as being real quick popular. I'm not even arguing that they're not going to sell out whatever the fuck they do at first.
Like white hot and then
Right,
burn out.
yeah. And I feel like as time goes on, they're just going to lose to everyone else. Everyone else, I'm talking. And when I say 4th or 5th, maybe they beat Impact, but Impact just moved to a fucking another station that nobody fucking gets. I barely got Pop.
The culinary station or some
Pursuit.
shit.
Pursuit. It's like a fucking outdoorsman hunt type channel.
Yeah, but
I
it's
just-
got solid. It's got that channel has solid ownership. I can't whoever owns that channel owns like a network of channels.
That's fine, but it's in 15% less households than Pop was.
Right, and I didn't even have Pop on my cable. I have it on my Hulu Live, and that's the only reason I've been able to watch Impact.
Yeah, I had it on DirecTV now. Pop. I don't have Pursuit.
But, I mean, if they're going to TBS or something, that's in everybody's household, no matter what you have.
And I agree. And that...
Yeah, and citing that WrestleZone article again, I mean, if that is true, the Khan family is going to invest $100 million. That's a lot more than Anthem is investing into Impact. That's a lot more than Sinclair is investing into ROH. Now, I don't know what cut if you wanted to liquidate New Japan, what their dollar value is at, but I want to say that that's a bigger financial bank than what Ring of Honor or Impact has to work with.
Yeah, but if he's willing to put up that kind of money, they have to have some kind of guarantee of the talent they can bring in.
Well, if they have that kind of money and they do have a legit TV deal,
It shouldn't be
then
hard.
bringing in free agent talent should not be an issue. If they can pay them right away and put them on TV right away, that shouldn't be an issue. I mean, the name value from the people who are in charge of this company, that's there.
Yeah.
So it's not like someone who's going to go sign with the AEW is going to go, it's not like they're working for some fucking, backyard clowns or something,
But aren't they? No,
I don't
okay,
know.
maybe not. Maybe it's not so much backyard clowns.
The Bucks,
But they're-
the Bucks and Code, well, especially the Bucks, have proved to be great entrepreneurs.
yeah, wonderful marketing. They know how to get themselves out there. I agree with that. I'm not going to knock that.
And we're going to find out if they know how to book.
And that's what it is. I honestly feel, because they're talking about giving wrestling back to the fans, and that's great.
But now, let me ask you a question.
Okay.
We've been to a couple indie shows together.
Mm-hmm.
One of them was thrown by our own Orlando Christopher,
Yes.
who went over in that match.
Uh-huh.
No, I'm asking you a question.
Who went? Oh, who?
Who went over
He
in
won,
the final
yeah.
match? Okay. His company, he went over. I mean, it's kind of now, granted that you're also talking in his hometown, so there is something to that type of booking. When they originally
Unless
did,
you're WWE and you're Rhino from Detroit. Sorry.
they put him on TV.
They beat him on TV.
I know.
In Detroit.
Yeah, it happens.
That's what they do.
He was still on TV though.
Sasha lost in her hometown. Charlotte lost in her hometown.
That's a WWE.
It's almost becoming a thing.
It is a thing.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Okay.
let's not get Smitty sidetracked here.
You started it.
Smith tracked.
And I'm finishing it.
But All In supposed to be like a one-off pay-per-view from these guys, so they booked it a certain way. So that doesn't concern me going forward. I'm not even concerned that Cody's the executive producer, only because of his lineage.
Right.
Now, does that mean he's going to be like Dusty reincarnated? We got to wait and see. But, I mean, I have more faith than I have doubt as far as that's concerned. The Bucks booking it, again, great marketing skills. Like, if they were, vice presidents of marketing, absolutely sold on that, because, I mean, what they did for themselves alone, let alone for other people with their, like, Hot Topic contract and all that, like, they know how to make money for themselves and for other people and how to get over. This is all kind of just a wait and see thing. So I'm kind of in between both of you. Like, I want to see it succeed, but looking at your point of view, I can also see why it wouldn't.
Now, I want it to.
I have a lot of questions.
Yeah.
Like
what?
Okay, we touched on it earlier. Could these guys, even with the start of AEW, could they still be part of the Garden Show? Are they cutting themselves off from working with other companies? I hope not.
I don't think
I
so.
really hope, because I don't think that would be smart. Are they burning bridges by doing this? I hope not.
I don't think so.
I mean,
and I think
I'm almost done.
Okay.
Say, God forbid this shit fails. It goes under. I would like to think that they still have a place to work in this business. I don't want them to, like I said, go ahead and burn all these bridges to get this company going. I'd like to, because part of the success of them and the wrestling business in general outside of WWE the past couple of years has been people going against the grain of what's been the standard the past 10, 15 years. Instead of being exclusive, people are, they're working together now, and that's made a huge impact on the business in a positive way. So
no pun intended.
No pun intended. Impact being on the cruise with Ring of Honor, and I just would like, what I'm getting at is I would like to see them continue this tread going forward. I don't want to see them be exclusive with themselves as performers or with their signed talent.
I mean, I don't feel like they burned any bridges, because this was the worst kept secret in wrestling. Like, we all knew it was going to
Yeah,
happen.
I mean, they're wrestling Friday in New Japan.
Yeah.
At WrestleKingdom.
They did their big send off at Final Battle.
And who knows?
And Ring of Honor.
They're,
So it seems like they're going out on good terms.
Yeah, but it could also be like Impact, where they're like, all right, we're going to sign these talents to our company, but you get to do X amount of shows a year for
I like just not Ring of Honor and New Japan do the same thing too.
Well, that's what I mean. Like, now you have the second and third largest American product working together, and now this added company working with them. I mean,
that's what I was. It could be like
this could be like the three parts that eventually get on par with WWE.
Jeff Jarrett's vision of Global Force Wrestling a couple years ago. This could be maybe a more successful version of that. Mm-hmm. With these worldwide entities collaborating instead of competing.
I will fully. Can I have a water too? And a Coke. Thanks. Z went to get drinks for everyone who's not watching live on our Periscope and Twitter. Look, man, I am not wanting All Elite to fail. I really don't want it to fail. As a matter of fact, I would love for it to, like I said, I would love for it to possibly take number one. I would love the start of something that guys are so hungry to put out a great product to become a great product. and to blow things out of the water.
If anything, like what the Monday Night Wars did, you know, WWE's product was stale.
Yeah.
When the NWO hit. The NWO hit, it was more cutting edge, it was more realistic, it was more adult oriented, it insulted your intelligence less.
Yes.
So basically it lit a fire under WWE's ass. It forced them to get better. And based on WWE's product, WWE's creative, WWE's ratings as of late, maybe this is exactly what they need, is a fucking another fire to be lit under their ass again to get them going.
And look, that's what I want. I want a fire to be lit under their ass. I want them to do exactly what they fucking did. But
are we gonna get back into WWE at all after this?
Yeah.
Tonight? I mean,
yeah.
Okay.
We got a whole bunch to talk about.
All right.
WWE. But the first hour of the show's not even done, man.
It's getting there. We're at the halfway point almost.
Now we got 15 minutes. We started 5 minutes late.
That's right.
That's break time, right?
Someone must have been late.
And second, dick.
Fucking asshole.
But my whole thing is, man, for those asking, yes, I've already gave my opinion on why I thought AEW would suck, and we're still talking about it now. I'm just really worried. I'm really worried that this hurts wrestling more than it helps wrestling. When WCW took number 2, right? It was because, like you said, WWE was getting stale. When TNA first came out with all the Jarretts and stuff, Jarrett did the same fucking thing, man. How many times was Jarrett the NWA champion?
And when they actually got their own belt, their TNA belt.
Yeah.
And then he did that stupid MMA gimmick too. Oh,
So
awful.
My thought process on this is, one, Cody and the Bucks can't book themselves the way that Jarrett booked himself in TNA. But I'm worried they will because of how All In happened. Secondly,
I wouldn't see. And I give All In more credit than you do. I thought it was a good show. I enjoyed that show. I thought that was a fun show. I thought it was groundbreaking, as in what it proved.
Okay.
What could be done in the business.
well, let me ask you this then.
And
Before we go, continue on All In, part of my interruption. The Dick spot with Joey Ryan, Hangman's match, the women's match, Cody with blood on his face holding the title that his father won. Give me more moments.
the entire Penta Omega match,
Okay.
that's a great match. I don't know if I go as far as say it's a dream match, but
It turned into one when you watched it. I'll
Maybe
give you that. Yeah, they're really good.
on the indie level it is a dream match. And the main event, even though a lot of time got cut off because Skrull and Okada went long, that was still just
So I know everyone,
still just
including
a
the
fun
Bucks, said
matchup.
that wasn't what it was. That's just all.
They're just trying to. That's what it was. They're just trying to not be a dick to their friend. You know.
Okay.
I mean, you watch Being the Elite. They still rib them over it.
Well, yeah, because it's a fucking internet rib. Everyone and they're all saying,
Either way,
everyone went over. He said.
whatever reason it was, time got cut off of their match at the end.
Yeah.
But it was still a great match. I mean, it was still. I mean, the team they faced with Rey Mysterio. I mean, it was that. It's just like a fantasy booking thing.
All right,
you know.
you watched this. Besides what he said and what I said, what do you remember from All In?
Nothing, so I still haven't seen all of it.
Okay, he's been all out. But even so,
No, I've been,
and that's the casual fan.
like half in,
yeah,
half in.
let's go. Z is more the casual outside of WWE fan than anything, and that's what you want to attract.
I would like to be more in tune, but like
And
Joe
what
said,
I
watching all this,
what I
wrestling
did
is
never see
overwhelming.
because it was a WGN exclusive, which I didn't get, which I don't get that channel. The Battle Royal, the pre-show Battle Royal. I actually heard that was pretty awesome.
I did watch that. That is something I watched.
Was that good?
Yeah, it was.
And I was
All
bummed
right.
that I missed that.
But again, what I'm saying is, we're looking at All In, right? You liked it more than others,
And
right?
you gotta. It was an experiment, dude.
I agree
It really,
with that. I'm
you
not
know,
arguing that. But what I'm
it was
saying
almost like
is,
it was like a one night stand or a barely legal type thing. You know?
Right, but what it did was it didn't leave the casual fan with enough moments to go, fuck yeah, can't wait to see another one.
That's subjective.
But it wasn't made for the casual.
Yeah,
fan.
that was made. That's
all in.
A, that's
and-
subjective. B, that was made for the wrestling fan.
Yeah, I was gonna say all in. Even I would even say Double Down. Even their wrestling company is not going to be directed towards your casual fan or your fan that's in diapers.
Because you don't know that. You could have you know, there could be plenty of situations where people like me who are avid fans maybe show their not fan or casual fan friends all in, and they're like, holy shit, that was cool.
I mean, that's how that's how I got.
Maybe
into
some
wrestling in
casual
general.
fans saw that fucking Joey Ryan dick spot and fucking laughed their fucking ass off. You know, you never know. Mm-hmm. I mean, you don't know that. It could have gained some outside viewers. You know.
Right. Well, so Daniel from Pro Wrestling Scorecards is watching.
What's up, loser?
He said that he'd love to give his opinion, but it might be skewed from him being there. I told him to call in. He's more than welcome to call in right now. And because obviously this is a dialogue. This is what this is about. I'm kind of sad Orlando's not here. I'm kind of sad Smitty's not here, especially with the big fucking week in wrestling that
All right,
we
Smitty
had.
would just be reiterating what Joe's saying in a more,
Black Manor.
I was going to say uneducated manner, but
Ooh.
same thing. You know.
Oh, hey, ooh.
I wasn't even going to make it racial.
Damn, but I said it, so then you should have not said that.
You should watch your words, sir.
Hey, man, you're the one that capped on my
He
word.
did watch him.
I
Watched him.
By the
roll
way,
right out of his mouth.
I was talking about Smitty, not necessarily the color of Smitty's skin when I said that.
Right, yeah, no, obviously.
Disclaimer.
Okay. Yeah, we go there all the time.
Jeez, why don't you just
He
call
was
him an
here.
uneducated black man, Z? Damn.
Because that would be taking it too far, Joe. If I say half and Mikey says half, it's okay.
Love it.
Back into this. I just feel like it's already so thin now. And with the competition being so good where it is,
What's so thin? What do you mean?
the wrestling landscape with all these great companies right now, Ring of Honor, New Japan, people wanting to be involved in them. You know what I'm saying? When they're already hitting really high highs that outside of WWE hasn't been hit since 2008, 10 years ago. That I feel adding another company that is going to incite people to want to go there pulls back away, especially if they don't work with another. But it already will kill creative because these people are going to have their storylines in All Elite. And then they're going to have people in ROH have their storylines. Those storylines aren't going to correlate.
That's not necessarily true. And I also, I did read something, and everything at this point is speculation. But
Until January 8th.
right.
January 8th is actually Double Down? Or
No.
it's just an announcement about Double Down?
Yeah, I don't know what the hell Smitty was talking about. I was just making a joke, like, you know.
No, yeah, that's the day. That's
referring
the day
to today's date.
Yeah,
with what I was saying in our
I
group.
got what you said.
Yeah, I know you
Smitty
got
never
it.
gets
Smitty,
anything.
it was way over.
That's the day that they're going to be holding a press conference regarding
Yeah.
All Elite and everything like that.
So, but I did read that, like Don Callis or something was saying that, you know, because they did sign that TV deal with that, you know, really weird unknown pursuit channel or whatever, but they might be like interested in partnering or like becoming a part of AEW.
Is it Impact?
Yeah. Now that could be something too.
That would add to it. But my problem, I'm
Because the Bucks do have a great working relationship with Callis for sure. I mean, he commentated All In.
yeah. I don't know, man. I just feel like this is going to derail all the momentum for competition for WWE more than it's going to help that momentum.
I don't know, man, because, you know, Ring of Honor's taking a big hit with all these guys leaving, but they're also, I think they're going to be fine. I mean, they just signed some cool guys. They re-signed some cool guys. You know, like Silas Young got an offer from WWE NXT that he turned down. Re-signed a 2-year deal. They just signed Jeff Cobb. You know, they just signed PCO, who's older, but he's on fire right now. So, I mean, they re-signed the Hurricane. They got some cool new things coming in. You know, I wouldn't say nobody can replace the Young Bucks or Paige or Cody, but you know, when one door closes, another door opens, and that's an opportunity for new guys.
Okay, so when NXT loses people to WWE and NXT re up, right? NXT still does great,
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
We're not going to argue.
I was
that.
actually going to make that point.
Yeah, but then those people go to WWE, and a large part of them take a hit.
That's because they
that's-
call them up without having
So
any
you're
real
saying that
direction what they're going to do with
someone
the character.
could leave Ring of Honor and go to AEW and have that same thing happen?
No, to Z's point, yes, but how Z was sort of when people come up from NXT to WWE, there's no real area for them to go with the character that they had in WWE. Sometimes they want to switch it in NXT, but now
That's not NXT or the NXT talent's fault.
I know I'm not arguing that. But what I'm saying is, people who are coming out of ROH or WWE or New Japan or any other place to come to AEW, right? If they're coming in there just because it's a great opportunity, but there's, and again, 100% all speculation, all worst case scenarios, right? And I'm definitely pushing worst case scenario because, again, I don't think it's going to fail. I just don't think it's going to be more than number 4. 10 years down the line. If they're coming in building up of what they had in ROH or New Japan, most of that stuff is already copywritten to those companies. And you can't use that for a contracted AEW wrestler.
I mean,
Unless
Impact
you have a working
Impact right
relationship.
now.
That's different. A working relationship is different than having your star
part of the
leave it.
appeal in Impact execs will even come right out and say this. Part of the appeal for a talent going to work with Impact is they can take whatever IP is developed on the Impact show with them wherever they go.
Okay, but they can't. If the Tongas left New Japan for AEW, they would not be Bullet Club
Why?
because it's
Bullet
a New
Club
Japan.
is owned by New Japan.
Yeah,
Oh,
But they could still be-
I thought
They could still be Tama
copyrighted
Tonga and
that.
Tonga Loa. They could still be the Tongans.
that's
You know,
fine.
They
But
could
then
still be the bad boy Tama Tonga.
okay. But what I'm saying is things that were built up in other companies when these people leave, it even takes a bigger hit than when people go from NXT to WWE.
That's really the only thing, though, that's the big thing that's trademarked is the Bullet Club. I mean, most other names and gimmicks and whatever guys are using can be moved along.
Chaos is also a part of New Japan.
That's you're not gonna Chaos guys. You're not that's a New Japan thing. You're not gonna see a lot of. You're not going to see an entire Chaos faction go from New Japan.
I understand.
You
but
might see one member.
Again, that's what I'm talking
and one
about.
member is not going to bring the faction gimmick.
Okay. So you're right. But Nakamura started Chaos. Was part of the reason that Chaos started in New Japan. Went to WWE. Doesn't have that anymore.
Same thing with Fergal Devitt.
Right. Started a Balor Club, but it's a different thing.
Yeah.
Right. But again, what I'm saying is that you're talking about that it's not the talent's fault that they couldn't capitalize on the things that they had in other companies. And that's what I'm saying. They can't capitalize on things they were already building in other companies if they go to AEW.
Going from NXT to WWE, there's no reason why they couldn't capitalize on what they had going on down there. That's
not arguing that.
There's no trademark.
But we're saying that
infringement
it's
there.
such a bad transition for the most part there when they're allowed to do with stuff that they were already doing. That now they're not going to be allowed to do some of the stuff that they were doing that may have made them popular.
You can't allow creative handcuffing by WWE affect your opinion on other companies' bookings and the way that they use
I'm
their
not
talent.
allowing it to affect the booking. I'm talking about what they creatively built in another company they can't take to the company they go to.
But they can still be the elite.
That's them.
I know.
But what I'm saying is that,
But according to you,
Nakamura may not be able
in
to.
this conversation, they are the hype.
Nakamura
They
may not.
They are. You know. You both agree that they're probably the reason why New Japan and ROH sold out here in America.
Nakamura is not going to bring the Chaos faction to America, but he did bring himself. He's still Nakamura. He's still the king of strong style. He's still everything that he was. He's not going to bring his entire crew with him.
okay, but how is his hype in WWE right now?
That's a different thing, though.
But at the same
bad.
time,
It's
he
really,
wasn't
really
able to
bad.
bring everything that built him up from in New Japan to WWE.
He brought it to NXT pretty good, but then when he went up from NXT to the main roster, there's always something lost in the translation there.
They gave him less time, and he can't. He doesn't know how to wrestle.
A 6-minute.
He was
match.
just fine in NXT, dude.
and he didn't.
But he wasn't
a
wrestling.
6-minute match.
Yeah, he didn't do one single 6
His matches were 15 minutes or longer every time.
Good. What's wrong with that?
I'm not saying there's
There's
anything
a big
wrong with
thing.
it. No, there's nothing wrong with it except for the fact that now
6-minute matches are dumb.
Now you're wrestling for a company that puts 12 matches on their pay-per-view card, so you don't get the kind of time you had when you were in NXT and only had 5 matches on the card.
That's a formula that doesn't work. It doesn't make it the talent's fault.
Again,
No, it totally does. Sorry, it does. If you
What?
can't fucking work a 6-minute match and be memorable, that's kind of on you. Maybe you're not
Yeah.
as good as everyone else is saying.
What 6-minute match do you remember as being like a fucking classic?
I'm not talking about classic. I'm talking about good. Nakamura hasn't had a good match that's less than 15 minutes.
True.
That's what I'm not talking. I don't need a 5-star 6-minute match.
And
7-star, 8-star, 25-star. I'll be good with a fucking 4-star 6-minute match.
Yeah.
3.5. Nakamura is not putting that quality out in 6 minutes.
Who's putting on these killer 6-minute matches?
You'd be surprised if you actually go back and be like, wow, that match is good. And you look at your watch, it's like 7.5 minutes long.
People put on good matches that aren't.
Best 4-minute match I've ever seen was SummerSlam 2002, Edge versus Matt Hardy. Great. It was like 2.5 minutes. Best match ever.
There's a bit of a story heading into that one, if I remember correctly. It might have been something playing into that one.
Someone's head bounced off a ring. I don't know. But to Mikey's point, I think he's kind of right where that does fall on the talent because
Partial. I'm not saying
that
all.
makes Nakamura one-dimensional. That means he can only he will give you a 5-star match, but he has to have this amount of time to do it. I'm not saying 6 minutes, like let's say 10-minute match, and there's been a lot of good 10-minute matches.
10 minutes is different. It's hard to tell a story in 5 or 6 minutes.
I understand, but what Mikey's saying is any match under 15 minutes that Nakamura's had is absolute shit. Would you agree?
No, that's
Then can you name one? In WWE.
God, absolute shit. That's like saying hate. That's a strong word, don't you think?
I will not. I will. They're not good.
It's like a shart. Like you thought you're gonna fart.
No,
Shit.
they're not good. There's no good matches of his under 10 minutes.
There's also no good matches of him where he's not facing a real worker. Like you had Sami Zayn who made him look like $1 million fucking dollars in NXT.
How long was his match against Cena? That was a good match.
On the main event of SmackDown, 15. It was like 3 segments.
When he almost injured Cena.
Killed Cena, with a suplex. Yeah, it was 3 segments, so about 15 minutes.
Was it really?
Yep.
That was a good match.
Yeah, 15 minutes. Look at that. But no,
Also with a good worker.
Yep. What?
There's another fucking
I'm just saying,
fireball.
I'm not Smitty.
I agree,
I'm
yeah.
not Smitty. I got no problems with Cena.
I like Nakamura. I like his style. I like what I see when they give him time, but I still think he is one-dimensional. He is a one-trick pony.
I'll give you this. I don't know that he's one-dimensional, but I will agree.
He's
I
two-dimensional?
still want to.
3D.
I still don't think that we've seen. Like we've gotten a few opportunities to see it in NXT, but on the main roster, I don't think we've really seen the true Nakamura. Like what Nakamura has the potential of being.
Can I be honest? I'm really hoping him and Rusev put on a fucking barn burner at the Rumble for that U.S. title.
Oh, that's actually going to be on a pay-per-view?
I'm assuming. Look, if we're changing everything,
There's no reason why that can't be a
I've-
great match.
I've come to the conclusion that the U.S. title is the new television title.
Well, hey, well,
I'm okay with it. Don't get me wrong, but it hasn't been featured on or defended
And
at
I
the last two
can't-
pay-per-views.
I can't put my finger on why. I think there's something with like maybe something gets lost in translation between like creative and Nakamura, because I mean I've seen Nakamura have incredible matches in New Japan. Like he killed it with AJ in New Japan, and they just could not recreate that in WWE, you know? And then like Daniel Bryan comes back from an injury off the shelf, or you know, on the shelf for 2 years. And I mean, his match with AJ was better than what AJ and Nakamura did in like 3 tries, you know?
breaking news: Britt Baker, according to Figure 4 Wrestling Online, has signed with All Elite.
I thought she was in NXT.
No, she signed. What has allegedly signed.
Yeah, that's the one that Adam Cole was not fucking, right?
No,
That's the one he is fucking.
That's his wife.
She's got that.
It's kind of
It
funny.
was
She's
Tony
got like a-
Storm was the one who's not fucking. Who did eventually have real photos come out this week?
Oh, no shit. I have to look those up when I get home. Have you seen Ruby Riots yet? No, didn't think so. Look them up. Anyways.
Our friend Jake something. His girlfriend's name is Ruby Riot. I need you to back off of that.
Oh, well.
Anyway,
Jake, Z has something he'd like to talk to you about.
Yeah, I got questions after looking at those photos.
Lots of questions.
oh god damn it. Okay. Back to. I'm not saying Nakamura sucks, but I agree with you that something happened in translation with him and creative, right? But that doesn't mean that
Some of it's on him. You're right.
Yeah.
I agree with you on that.
And then some of it's not on anyone, because again, there's certain things he did in New Japan that you can't do when you come to WWE, right?
Yeah, he had a much more violent style.
Right. So and
And
also
they didn't call him the King of Strong Style for no reason.
now going into All Elite, right? I don't know the kind of product they're talking about putting out yet. We don't know if it's going to be like in the middle of WWE's PG and the ECW's hardcore, right? We don't know if it's going to be that.
I'd say it's gonna. I don't think it's gonna be
TV
anywhere near
14.
ECW's hardcore, but it's. I go out on a limb
Say
to
it just like
say that
Impact.
it's gonna be a bit more adult oriented than WWE.
Okay. I also don't know.
I'm excited for it. I
Dude,
mean,
I'm excited
even
as
if
well.
it's just
I will
like the
be honest.
first XFL game, you know, like
Yeah.
the white hot flash that just fizzles out. I want to see it.
Agreed. I want to watch this. I hope they get a TV deal. I hope they get a TV deal where they put
it
on
would- dude, with
product.
TBS or TN, that would be fucking huge.
But I'm coming into this thinking long term and not just now. And that's why I think the AEW could suck, because it's thinning out an already viable competition market for WWE by pulling them there. Because any storyline or creative that was built up in any of these other companies, regardless if we were allowed to work with them, you know what I'm saying? Like Cody won that belt and was able to defend it in New Japan, you know, the ROH title. And he was able to defend it in New Japan because they had a working relationship. But no one in New Japan.
And he was able to bring the NWA title to Ring of Honor New
Yes.
Japan too.
working relationship.
I think they will have that mentality, and they should.
They should.
I mean, they'd be freaking retarded not to. But
If they, all of the talent that they're building from the ground up there, majority of that stuff is basically clean slate. Majority of it. Because anything outside of your name, that like Britt Baker, her signing, she's built up a good name on the indie scenes, right? She did great in on the NXT stuff. She was wonderful in that 4-women's match on All In. You know, it's not like she doesn't have, but outside of who she's dating and the matches you've seen, that's a clean slate right there. You just know she's a good women's wrestler.
Yeah, that's
a really good women's wrestler.
She is an opportunity for them to build a talent and mold that talent in their eyes from the ground up.
Now, anyone else that they pull who has built anything inside of another company, let's say Zack Ryder. Cody loves Zack. They're friends. They asked him, who would you like
that's
to
what I
pull
was
in
just
All In?
about to get at. You say spreading talent thin, my retort to that was going to be, what about giving talent that is good talent, has a proven track record, an opportunity, guys that are being sat on the sidelines that aren't being used? What about putting them in the game, man?
I'm not arguing that, but he's not
like a Zack Ryder, like the Good Brothers, people like that.
He's not
Kurt
gonna
Hawkins.
He's not going to be Zack Ryder. First, Kurt Hawkins is amazing in WWE, regardless of the losing streak. He's built a fuck ton of shit on that, right? I love Kurt Hawkins.
I like him.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't.
And I'm totally okay with him losing.
He's a good worker,
and having a great Mania moment to fucking break that streak. I think that'll be awesome.
That would be pretty cool.
So, but Zack Ryder, if he went to All Elite, won't be Zack Ryder. He won't woo woo woo. You won't know it.
Woo woo wee woo woo.
Wee woo wee wee wee. You know me. It's
Gallows and Anderson could go, or they could be the brother club. The Good Brother Club. I don't know.
I don't think WWE's copyrighted Good Brothers.
No,
they could be Good Brothers still.
That's their shit. They're the Good Brothers.
But again, what I'm saying is it's clean slate stuff. People, the workmanship, I think, is going to be great there.
I was gonna say like a guy like Bandito. He was on the Rey Mysterio's team and All In, but Ring of Honor just signed him, which is another one of those good signings that they just made in the absence of all these elite guys.
And if you think WWE is not about to go on a fucking rampage and start signing
for
people
sure.
right now,
But that's what I hate about WWE signings, dude. They just take guys out the game and sit them on the bench to fucking not have to compete against them.
I'm not arguing that, dude. I
fucking hate that.
But again, man, that's the art of business.
I know it, but this is a performance art. God damn it!
I know,
fuck the business.
Man,
I know.
yes,
You can't say fuck the business. I know.
But again, I'm worried that everything that has been built out from other companies, people will lose when they go to here. This clean slate stuff might throw other people off. And similar to how it hurt Nakamura when he hit the main roster, that it could hurt people when they go to AEW because things that were from other companies won't be able to be put in All Elite Wrestling. And therefore, some of that star could falter. I want this shit to succeed. I want to eat my words.
I think the only situations where that would be an issue is people come from WWE. Anyone come from Ring of Honor, New Japan, or Impact
probably owns their own name.
They're going to be able to. I mean, they're not going to be able to bring the Chaos faction with them, but they're going to be able to bring their name and their gimmick, man.
Okay,
and that's only going to be an issue, I think, with guys from WWE. Yeah, you're right. Zack Ryder is not going to fucking be Zack Ryder. That's for sure. But Carl Anderson and Luke Gallows can still be Anderson and Gallows.
Oh, dude.
Maybe Luke will have to go back to being Doc Gallows.
Can I be honest? I don't think they'll even fucking leave WWE. Especially that. You see that Botch Club show?
Yeah, that's pretty funny,
so
dude.
Dude,
that shit with
so
Titus.
Good.
Oh my god,
it was so good that I think
I'm about to go out here and win this this Royal Rumble.
It was so good that I think that was an accidental pilot for their own show on the network, and they're probably going to get a show on the network.
Well, those guys are entertaining.
Yeah, they're fucking great. I agree. But anyway, back to this. 100%, I want this to succeed, but I feel like there's just so much hype around this that there's so many people going to be disappointed as well.
There's rumors of them signing Nakamura.
And AJ could go after April or whatever. There's so many people talking shit. Again, so much hype, but so much could fuck this up.
And we've all read the rumors of Jim Ross and Chris Jericho being heavily, quote unquote, involved in the company,
right.
As in investment guys and JR on commentary and things like that. and of course Jericho will be performer.
It'd be cool if Jericho was your booker.
Dude.
He knows how to take one.
Because, I mean, and they said, it was either Cody or Nick or Matt. One of them three did say, like, look, we want it all. We want guys from WWE that are being used. We want older guys. We want legends. We want veterans. We want active guys. We want rookies. We want the whole gamut. We want everybody, you know? And that's I like to hear that, you know? That's what you... And they are even saying, like, not only do we want, like, veterans and legends to be, like, performers, but we want, like, we're talking, like, road agents and producers and shit like that, too, you know? Mm-hmm. They want to sign established people along with their younger talent.
Yeah, get a nice mix of everything.
That's the way... That's usually the way successful companies work.
That's the way the cookie crumbles.
I like cookies.
Me too.
So let's move on from All Elite, and we'll talk about WWE.
Do we have to?
The state of WWE.
State of the state of WWE. Yes, we do.
So the shakeup, the on-air admission to the product sucking and all that, right? Mm-hmm. And they're saying they hung their hat on this. You're going to see new names, new faces, new matchups and
over
all
the coming weeks and months.
And they've been,
they didn't say tomorrow.
Yes.
The same vignettes of the same people over and over on SmackDown and Raw for the past month or so. You know.
Yeah, Lars was pissed about that too.
Nikki Cross, Heavy Machinery, Lacey Evans, EC3. See, my thing is, they put so much stock into that. The new faces, like, dude, they've got one of the best rosters they've ever fucking had right now. The problem is not their faces, their talent. It's the way they use their fucking talent. Like, if they're going to bring in new faces and use them the same way, then fuck it. It's not a problem with their faces. That's all I'm getting. Their talent. That's not where the change was needed, is what I'm getting at. And I'm not shitting. I'm not shitting on bringing up new people, but like, that's not the problem, dude.
I'd say you're partially wrong on that.
Okay, elaborate.
And again, I fully agree that they're underutilizing some talents, but I will say that fresh faces mean they're going to have fresh matchups, because there's also a lot of things that just keep happening that are becoming very tiresome to watch, and therefore getting anything new into any of these shows to create top tier talent fresh matches is where I think they're lacking as well. Yes, that is.
I don't even think they want top tier talent anymore.
No. I'm talking about their current top tier talent. Like, they haven't really been building anyone up, and that includes people that they have been sitting on the sidelines, to which are getting fucking buried even more so when Seth Rollins cuts a promo saying, "For God's sakes, Mojo Riley," and then he shows up in a fucking battle royal then at night. Who's going to take him seriously? He's got shit on by one of the top guys on the show. You know what I'm saying? Yes, they're underutilizing talents that are there that they could put into higher profile matches. That intercontinental, dude, the U.S. title challenge. John Cena did it. Majority of the guys weren't major tier guys, but they put on good matches and got put over. Kevin Owens is one of those people that when he came from NXT to challenge for that U.S. title, you know what I'm saying, and lose or whatever, but also win against John Cena in a fucking pay-per-view as the NXT champion, it's, you know what I'm saying, like, it put him over. And that's what Cena was doing, and that's what that Open IC challenge was doing. And then for Seth to come out, and as good as that promo was on Raw, he did shit on a performer on live TV. Well, on national television, not live because it was taped in Detroit. But in that instance, you still, I agree, is how they're fucking up talent that's sitting there that could be used to better advantage. But there's also people coming up that have the momentum that can hopefully be propelled into a mid-card.
We've already spoken about this subject earlier.
Yeah.
This momentum that they have in NXT rarely translates to the main roster.
But does it for some. Mainly the women.
Who? I mean, didn't work for Nakamura. Didn't work for
I-
Bobby Roode.
I said, well, Bobby Roode's already been a U.S. champion.
Bobby Roode is a heel. He
It
sucks as a
worked
face.
for KO, but you kind of pushed him right to the fucking top.
Worked for Seth Rollins.
It would have worked for Finn had he not gotten injured because they were going to push him right to the top. But beyond that,
Seth
and
Roman.
Why have they?
Yeah, but sorry, they're NXT. They're
Okay.
NXT.
Finn's
fair
been
enough.
punished for his injury. Like they've shat on him since he's come back from his injury. He's never gotten a title rematch.
check your stats because he has the most wins in 2018. Believe it or not.
What have they meant? What title?
I'm just saying, like,
But
slowly
are they
but surely.
wins don't mean much if they're not meaningful. Because when they put him in meaningful, high-profile matches, he seems to lose.
Okay, fair enough.
A lot of NXT people have done well. On the main
I would
roster.
say a lot.
I would.
Okay, let's hear it. Other than the Shield.
Other than the Shield,
And
Bray
Kane.
Wyatt's been a WWE champion.
Bray Wyatt's not doing shit.
Right now, he's not, but he's been a WWE champion. He's held multiple tag team championships.
Bray Wyatt's a joke.
To you, dude, but not to as much losses as he was taking. He still held some top tier titles. He still had some top tier.
He's had, like,
storylines.
one title run, dude.
We got the Shield.
He's had, like, one
KO,
title run.
And Bray Wyatt. They
What?
shat all over Rusev when he came up.
Rusev also had a really strong U.S. title run.
Yeah.
Now he's on his third U.S. title reign.
But
he's been an Intercontinental champion.
Dude, they did
I'm not
wrong
but-
by
well,
Rusev for a long
You're
time.
right. You're right. I'm not arguing that. After WrestleMania 31, where he came out in the fucking tank.
Yeah, he went
and
from
the
the
only-
highest high,
and
and
the
then
only-
they just went whoosh,
And
right
then
down.
the only
But
reason
look
he
how
has a title
popular
run-
he still is,
Yeah,
dude.
I was
That's
gonna-
because of him,
Aiden
not
English.
that's
I'm
him.
not arguing that, but I'm saying
He's
you're
doing
saying
that in
they're-
spite of the company.
You can't say
not
that-
because of the company.
Daniel Bryan became WWE champion in spite of the company,
Yep.
not because of the company. You can't. I agree,
Oh, fuck.
but
He's
dude,
technically considered NXT, too.
no,
Nexus.
he's no,
The
he's
Nexus.
not. I'm
I
talking
mean,
about
he's like the original.
Yeah.
again. So, all of the women that are running the show right now, NXT.
Yes.
Every one of them. Charlotte, Becky, Sasha. And yes, Bailey had a title run, but they're finally stop fuckery with that fucking Bailey versus Sasha.
Yep.
The Riot Squad have come up. Ruby's running Ruckshot right now. She might be losing, but she's fucking featured all the time and doing very well.
Yep.
Sonya and Mandy,
Yep.
featured very well. Cesaro is NXT. Sami Zayn did before these injuries in the last fucking 3-4 months that he was working that were killing him. Him and KO stuff before that were phenomenal. Top tier main event spot on the shows.
Okay.
NXT
the
is
only
not
thing
a shit on.
I will say is outside of Rusev.
I will say the Ascension got their asses handed to them.
Right. But
That gimmick
also
was
gotta
never gonna
remember,
work.
Guys like KO and Sami Zayn and Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose, they made a career doing this before they got to NXT. Some of the homegrown talent that they like to push through is absolute garbage compared to these other guys who did eventually get over. Not all of them had the push like KO.
Who's homegrown right now?
Was Mojo Rawley in NXT?
Rusev is homegrown talent.
He's really good though. I agree that
not when he first, like, he was lost in the shuffle there for a minute. This whole Rusev,
No, wait.
this whole Rusev. No, I'm not saying at first. I'm saying at first they brought him in as this
I will say
big
he
bad
hit the-
heel because
Yes.
Vince loves doing the America versus fucking Russia shit.
Yes.
and then from there, after he lost Cena, he fell off.
Agreed.
And then, okay,
Self-hyped.
in a Mizdow type of way, pairing him with Aiden English got him the fuck over this whole Rusev Day thing.
Yep.
And now he's riding that wave.
Yeah.
And I think he's a great performer. I think that he's been underappreciated up until this point. I mean, yeah, except for that run he had just for Vince to do his typical USSR versus fucking America shit. So, I
Which
mean,
he like lost to Cena every time out. Like every time.
Captain America.
And then what happened to Aiden English and all this? I mean,
I was wondering the same thing.
He was
I was
actually-
like,
he was
Rusev
actually pretty
literally
fucking
got
entertaining.
over. I was like, he literally got over because of Aiden English, and now Aiden English
he's
is
lost in the shuffle,
Yeah,
like
not
which
even on
happens
TV.
so fucking often in WWE. It seems like. Oh, creative, we just got nothing for you.
Again, he's a 3-time U.S. champion. He's your homegrown. Roman Reigns is your other homegrown.
Yep.
Name other homegrowns. Charlotte's homegrown.
Was Mojo Rawley on NXT?
Yes. Yeah, that was when him and Zack Ryder went down there, and then they formed the Hype Bros and came up with Zack. Yes.
I
wouldn't exactly say he's been lighting the world on fire.
I agree with that.
Bailey's homegrown.
Yep. Sasha? Is Sasha homegrown?
No, Sasha was on the Indies.
Okay. So Charlotte and Bayley.
Bailey was on the Indies too.
Like
She is not homegrown.
she's not homegrown.
No, she's on the Indies for a while.
Okay, so they both came from the Indies. Ruby came from the Indies. Liv Morgan is homegrown, whereas Sarah Logan was Indies.
So right now, our homegrowns from WWE, people, let's just say people that they brought in, okay? Cena, or unless we're going to just do NXT. If we just do NXT, Roman, Ruby's Indy, sorry. Roman, Rusev, Charlotte. Is Alexa Bliss homegrown? Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Alexa Bliss
she
is
was brought
homegrown?
in from like
because she was like a fitness model.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm saying is, yes, there are some people that, and from NXT, that have officially been shit since coming up. But there are also more that have done a lot. 3 U.S. title reigns is pretty good for Rusev. Granted, there was a very long time that we were very angry at how WWE was treating him. But now he's the U.S. title holder 2 weeks after WWE says, look, we're listening. 2 weeks. That is the biggest change so far.
I feel like that was already planned though, before this whole change thing.
Yeah, I
Was
agree.
it? Could you really believe that? Could you really believe that? As much as
Honestly, yeah, just because of how over Rusev is, and they're not going to give him a shot at the. Well, they gave him his shot at the actual title, so that we're gonna. That's kind of what they do. Like AJ got his shot at the WWE Championship and lost, and then he became U.S. champ.
That was one of Nakamura's better matches as of late. Was
Yeah,
him
yeah,
and
it
Rusev. That was a
definitely
good
was.
match.
But okay, I don't even remember how this all started. Talking about
You're thinking.
oh, the new faces and
you're
the fresh
thinking-
faces and everything coming up. So
I mean, Mikey does have a point. You're not going to have fresh matchups every week unless you bring in fresh people, regardless.
or
of what
even,
you feel.
and I agree with Joe, or even use some of these really good people that have been sitting on the sidelines. Like Ryder said, before Raw in Detroit, he hadn't been featured on Raw at all in 2018.
Hashtag still here.
Yeah. And then he was.
But I mean, but he's like the main event of main event. Not that it matters, but like literally, he had a nice little win streak going on there. Only because I heard about it, not because I watched it.
I was about to say. I was gonna start making
holy
fun of you.
shit, he watched fucking Main
You
Event.
watched main event.
Yeah, I watched main event, but I still haven't seen All In.
Knew it. Anyway, yeah. So you have to take into effect that there are some people from NXT that could come up, and at least they didn't pull some of the top tier, super high profile NXT people. Lars is huge, right? Lars is huge.
Get one of these two.
I would love to see Heavy Machinery come and help out a tag division on SmackDown or Raw. You don't like them?
No, I do. I like those guys. I love Big Does.
I thought they were great when I saw them in person. The last time they were here at Royal
dude.
Music Theater, phenomenal.
I don't know about Tucker Knight. I mean, I need to see more from. But Doze.
Dozovich is yeah.
I mean, if this don't work out with the tag, he's definitely got a singles career. This guy has it.
yeah.
But my thing is, WWE, they don't show any dedication to their tag divisions, man.
I'm not arguing that, dude.
And-
what I'm saying is, think about this. Just think of it like this: when WWE, before they went to the Attitude Era, how over it were you with Repo Man and IRS and all? Weren't you like before that? You were like, "Fuck this."
Yeah, I checked out.
Yeah.
And now as a young kid,
Right.
and that was still as a young kid insulting me.
Oh,
I checked out.
Okay, so but
Till
then
the
they,
NWO
but
hit.
Then they gave you the Attitude Era, and it became some of the best wrestling you've ever watched, right? Because they self-admitted out loud they were fucking up. Now they've self-admitted out loud again that they were fucking up. And the Attitude Era didn't kick off with anything. We've all said that, yeah, Attitude Era was great, but it was definitely the latter part of it that was spectacular, where you had a great show top to bottom. So we're talking 99, 2000, 2001, 2002. That is when WWE was putting on their amazing product, right?
2001, 2002, they had already bought in WCW.
Right,
But
but
2002, you're starting to etch into the ruthless aggression era.
Yeah,
right,
and
but
that's when they
again,
did that kind of
but
failed
again, so
invasion angle.
December 97, we're fucking up. We're fucking up. We're going to fix it. 99, 2000, some of the best wrestling anyone's ever watched, right? So we're talking over a year before it was a full change to where you were like, holy fucking shit, I love top to bottom these shows. Right now,
Yeah, but like Orlando always says, though, the Attitude Era was a weird time because everybody from top to bottom of the card was over.
agreed.
but if you look back at that roster,
It was straight
I mean,
garbage.
it's-
you had factions like the Oddities.
no, dude, look at some dude.
Dude,
Are
that
you
was-
kidding me? You had like Rock, Taker,
Hardy's,
fucking
Dudleys.
Austin, Dudley's, Hardy's, Edge and Christian, fucking Jericho, all on the
China.
fucking Angle, all on the same fucking Benoit, Guerrero, Mysterio on the same roster at the same time.
And that was also post
You're talking a
2001.
card from top to bottom of Hall of Famers.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
But what I'm saying is, dude, at the time when you're watching it, yes, you're going, these are good guys. These are guys that have skills that should be getting pushed. Right now, we're looking at guys that were like, man, they should be getting pushed. Some of those guys were underutilized on WCW. Other of those guys had shitty fucking I'm a dentist gimmicks that eventually got to be a mass contender for Undertaker, that then became his tag team partner, that did go on to have a pretty good run with things to where you were involved in invested in those matches.
Kane had a shit career.
I never gave a fuck about Kane.
Yes, because you also never gave a fuck about the Undertaker.
That's not true.
Who'd you like more, Kane or the Undertaker? Who was
Do I
more,
have
who
to
was
answer
more
that?
tickle butt?
They both were tickle butt.
But what I'm saying is, dude, is you're coming into another situation where the WWE fully admitted out loud on TV they fucked up.
Yeah, but then even Vince like retracted at the end
When?
when he was like first of all, hold on. Triple H goes, "You guys are now the authority," and Vince goes, "Well, now that we're giving you more of what you want and less of what you don't want, like
No. He said, as long as we give you more of what you want
and less of what you don't."
Yeah,
want.
dude, are you fucking? Yes. That's not retracting anything. Again, even if you're watching the
I
product,
just think it's funny because if you go back and watch the promo, Vince literally looks like it's taking everything he's got to say this out loud.
yeah.
Like his eyes are glossy. Like he doesn't want to
He's
admit
about to
it.
pass out.
Yeah, I know, for real. Like he like literally like came out there and
He's still
fine.
got to get that old standard tagline in. And
now and forever.
sorry, I have to do that when I'm talking Vince voice. I just can't help it.
But it's exactly true. The reason that WWE was and WWF was so great back in the day is because the majority of that card we liked.
Yeah, from top to bottom.
Yeah, there's definitely spots that you didn't, that you were like, okay, we don't need any more of this. And then it was eventually gone. But for most part, you got a grade A wrestling show.
Plus, if we're gonna have all this talent that you're just gonna have sitting on the side, why not bring back the hardcore title and just have like all those guys fight for it?
Like, no.
Okay.
Anyway, so
But okay, the company's different now though, and let me. I want to like kind of paraphrase a interview that Bubba Ray said not too long ago. I don't remember who it was. It might have been with JR or on Busted Open, but he was saying like when the Dudleys had their first WWE run, like they weren't positioned to be like a tag team of power or anything like that. And I mean, they had fucking Bubba Ray stuttering and shit,
yeah,
you know?
just like he was in ECW.
Yeah.
But they got over. on their own. They got over.
Yeah.
And he said, but like the landscape, he's like the company was a night and day difference. Like when they came back in 2015, he said like literally it was like, and not only them, but like a lot of people, like people were just like not allowed to get over anymore. Like they didn't. There's 50-50 booking. They didn't want anyone getting too popular. They didn't want anyone disturbing what they had plans for as far as who they wanted to get over in their storylines and this and that.
Yeah.
And basically,
they had fully come out and said before that they will never let anyone get as popular as John Cena ever again.
but I mean, even like people just even getting over to an extent, they would put a kibosh on it. Like, and that's what I'm saying. Like,
And that was 2015, right?
yeah, going back to like you're
Post
saying
Daniel Bryan. Yes.
no.
Daniel Bryan's WrestleMania 30 was 2014.
Dudleys were
2013.
there active when Daniel Bryan retired, and they had been there active for a while. But anyway, going like saying like you have like high expectations for Heavy Machinery. Like, are they going to let a tag team or a tag division even get over?
My thought process on this right now is I saw what happened the last time WWE came out on national television and said, we fucked up. I saw what happened a year down the line after that. So my expectations right now for WWE are I'm going to give you a year. I'm sorry. I'm going to give you I'm going to give you less than a year. But you need to be making the strides you were making the last time you admitted you fucked up. And you need to start giving me a product that I want to watch on a regular basis rather than suffering through it because I do a weekly wrestling show.
All right, I know you mentioned the Rusev getting the title. What else in the past few weeks have you seen that maybe like a spark towards a change in a new direction?
I liked that the Revival were given the tag title shots. I liked how when they lost, it was a fluke loss, that it still keeps them in there because Revival is a majorly over team that I feel need to get something at least by the Royal Rumble, need to be tag team champions.
I like that this last Raw in Detroit started with no gimmickry, just straight fucking match.
Yeah, the first thing on Raw was a cage match.
Yeah, very first thing. There was the commentators welcome you to Raw right into the match. There was no gimmick. There was no show opener. There was just right to wrestling. And that's something we've bitched about for the past year. So
I like that Apollo Crews went over in that Battle Royal.
Even though I thought it was going to be Finn.
Everyone thought, well, and then it was as soon as I posted it on our Twitter.
I thought about it too.
And everyone's like, oh, yeah, but Apollo's been winning on house shows. I'm like, all right, well, maybe he'll win. And that's fine.
Well, no, just when I started watching, he was so dominant. He eliminated like 8 people. I was like,
That's why I thought he
I was
wasn't
like,
going to
man,
win, especially.
I was like, dude, he's got to win this fucking thing. He's killing people.
But and that's why I didn't think he was going to, because I thought he got over enough in that to show power. To
like he even said in his own promo, it took him 364 days to get to that point.
Yeah.
Why? Apollo Crews is an incredible talent.
Okay, and now he's
almost
won.
once in a lifetime
and one of the
athlete.
things they've been doing since this whole
Like,
shakeup
why
thing.
has he been so buried up until now?
But they're pushing him now.
Yeah.
They're like correcting their
You're
mistake.
asking me what's changed in 2 weeks.
Well,
That's
Apollo
fine.
Crews' push.
Okay, all right. I'm
right.
just wondering why he's been so buried up until now. I guess.
Because it's agreed. Because
that was
WWE
part of them
was
sucking
fucking up.
Yeah, all right.
So
All right.
I've seen that. I've seen the Revival stay in a tag title picture rather than being fucking destroyed by luchas in stupid where they were.
And they got rid of the Lucha House Party rules, which we bitched about.
Right. So
It's basically the Freebird rule.
Well, no, the Freebird rule was 2 of the 3 can wrestle in a match, not all 3 of them.
Well, they're so small, you know. They still weigh the same as the other 2.
so I've seen small changes.
Yep.
Enough to where I've been like, okay, let's see what
Well,
they
they
do
had to do
next.
something instantly to show you, like, hey, we're going to change.
Yeah.
They had to do something to show you they were serious.
And I fully believe, like, dude, you want to know what's really going to turn the tip it for me? Who takes this Royal Rumble? I honestly feel like they have.
Who do you think it is going to be? Who do you think it should be, and why?
I think it should be Finn.
I think it is Finn. I think both should and is.
To
Yeah,
go to
yes.
correct what I was saying earlier.
And then I would love to see him go versus Daniel Bryan for the WWE Championship and move him to Raw.
That would be an incredible match.
There you go.
I could also see Seth Rollins possibly winning it.
Seth Rollins.
Seth Rollins, he's like, okay, so like AJ's the guy they're going with on SmackDown. Seth, I mean,
Is the AJ equivalent on Raw.
right.
I get that, but
when
this
Brock's
whole-
not there, Seth is the Raw guy.
Yeah, but now he doesn't have the title, and he's showing this. I mean, I'm just.
AJ doesn't have the title right now. It's always
And he's showing that ruthless streak. I mean, who knows?
you always make more money off the chase. You know that.
Right, very true. And I think that's why they were smart and took the title off of Becky. Have her chase it farther. I mean, she's already over as far.
That's probably why AJ and Seth don't have the title right now either.
I think that my thought process on Rumble and Mania is Finn should be your Rumble winner and go to face Daniel Bryan at Mania. And then I think Seth needs to win a number one contender match in the Elimination Chamber, to which he faces Brock.
So Finn moves to SmackDown.
Yes, I think Finn should move to SmackDown.
As opposed to Daniel moving to Raw.
Yes.
And then we move.
That would make sense.
I don't know. It's already there.
I had no problems with that.
And that would make me look at it and go, you know what? These are people that these are things that the fans would love to see. You're turning a corner. Again, that's months down the line. Mania's April. That's 4 months later after your announcement of saying, oops. So, okay. You guys are moving in a good direction.
I mean, you also have to remember, though, going into this Rumble, that Sami Zayn and KO will probably be back.
Sammy's still... I think KO's going to be back involved in it, yes. Sammy, I'm not sure yet, because even he's saying he's not cleared.
Well, there's vignettes saying they're both returning soon, but
Yes.
Sammy's like, he even said, like, I don't know why they're putting those vignettes out. I was like, I don't know.
Just probably because people have been
He
like,
might be
where's
kayfabe.
Sami Zayn? So they're like...
He might be kayfabing, though.
Yeah, he could also be very much
And then you're going to have Lars and EC3 in the Rumble, right? Like, that's how you introduce them? And you have Lars have a pretty
Could
good
see
show.
Matt Riddle in the Rumble.
Yeah, he's been pushing
That would be fun.
Oh, yeah. I mean, obviously you're going to see, like, a couple NXT guys in the Rumble, but that will be, like, Lars and EC3's debut. And I love how they're pushing Lars like a Kane without a mask.
Yeah.
They need to treat him like that.
But
they
so
need to push him
that's-
like a monster.
That's what you asked.
Not
what
beat him right
differences
away.
have I seen? And I've seen those. And it seems to me that I'm going to now go, all right, I see what you fucked up on. You're admitting you fucked up. And the last time you admitted you fucked up, you made me fall in love with wrestling. Like, I liked it. Like, there's pictures of me as a 4-year-old standing next to Hulk Hogan cutouts. I liked wrestling. I didn't fall in love with wrestling until 97, 98.
I was in love with it back in the time you mentioned. I fell out of love with it. And, of course, fell back into love with it.
And that's...
Yeah, my relationship with wrestling goes like this.
Peaks and valleys, baby.
Right.
Peaks and valleys.
And yes, I agree. Even after that, it felt there were times I didn't watch anymore. You know? And there are things that got me back into it.
Yeah, whatever year the 40-man Rumble was, I was checked out. I was not watching.
2010.
I was not
believe.
watching the.
Yeah, I watched it.
I was watching.
Shortly after that, I stopped.
I was watching TNA back then, but not. I boycotted WWE. I did. It was so bad. I just boycotted it.
So, Z, you went to Raw in Detroit. Let's just talk about this, our experience there, and more than, because we've already kind of glossed over some of the things on the cards and changes before we go into this WrestleKingdom conversation. How was your experience at Raw in Detroit, the New Year's Eve show?
I really enjoyed it. Like I said, they started with the action early. Overall, I thought it was a relatively good show. The dark match was solid. The opening cage match was solid. They did not mimic each other in any way, shape, or form, which was nice. The women were basically your main event. I mean, and I have no issue with it. I mean, from top to bottom, this is probably the best Monday Night Raw I've watched in a while. But what threw me off was the Twitter feed blowing up about how it's the worst Raw. Like, it just keeps getting, like, there's even people, like, on Facebook that was like, yeah, that shit show of a Raw. And I was like, what was wrong with it?
I agree with you. I was thinking about going with you. I didn't end up going, but obviously I did watch on TV. But I saw the whispers or the tweets. And I'm like, why is that a shit Raw?
Yeah,
I
What
don't
the fuck
understand it.
the IC match was fucking solid.
Yep.
The Battle Royal was solid. The cage match was solid. Like, what? what's the problem here?
Yeah,
Like,
even the main event
only
was
thing
decent.
I do disagree with you with, like, and I get, and I'm gonna, I guess, channel a little bit of Orlando here with this one. Like, I get we're in a women's evolution here, but come on, like, why is a tag match that has like no implications? Why isn't that Intercontinental title match the main event? Is my thing. Especially it could have gave Cruz more time to recover from the Battle Royal.
Now this wasn't
To me, that just, and I think maybe they just threw that on there because of the women's movement thing, you know.
maybe, but this wasn't.
I would have put the ice. But that's nitpicking. That's
I know,
nitpicking.
but
I'd have put the IC match on last. That's all I'm saying.
This it wasn't a typical Raw. It wasn't live. It was like dark match and everything over by like 10:48.
Well, you can get away with that shit when it's fucking
when it's
pre-taped.
taped.
Well, right. You're cutting out and that was another thing is I really enjoyed not having to sit in a dark stadium while they go to commercial and then cut back to like the guy's just been standing in the ring doing his entrance this whole time.
Yeah, that is the worst.
So there was a little bit of that, and that was like for their like network sponsoring, like their own promoting of themselves. But beyond that, I mean, it was a nice flow to the show, and I mean, yeah, maybe you're right. Maybe they did put the women on last because of the women's revolution, but
No, they put the women on last because it was Ronda fucking Rousey.
yeah, that too.
But I just mean like the match. It wasn't for a title. Didn't have any like title shot or there's no implicate. You know, it was just kind of a nothing match. Only because the only reason it wasn't nothing is because they attacked Natty earlier in the show. But other than that, it was kind of a nothing match to be a main event.
I'm not arguing that. Either one of them I felt could have been a main event. Rousey by name, who is the
She's incredible.
yeah.
You know what?
She's
though?
amazing.
Also, what they might have done is, and this sounds bad for the women, but they might have put the IC title match before it in case it ran over, and then they would just take the time off of the main event because they have that strict 11 o'clock time now.
But it's pre-taped. They can edit
Yeah,
wherever
that's
they want.
pre-taped. Yeah,
True, but I mean, yeah, okay, yeah.
Yeah, if
They
that
got
wasn't
a lot
pre-taped-
more freedom when it's not live. They can.
Oh yeah,
they can do a lot more with editing that
I
way.
kind of, breezed through it Tuesday, just to kind of like see if I missed anything. Plus, you don't hear any of the commentary, which is kind of fantastic, like that.
I know I missed some stuff. I had to go and charge my phone. My shit was dying. Because I was... So here's... Let's talk about my Monday Night Raw experience. Because I was doing a lot more giving the world things that were going on. I don't know if, Joe, if you have the notifications for our Twitter on your phone.
Yeah, I do.
Oh,
My
saw...
phone was going nuts.
You saw... So, yeah. Then you saw Friday night.
I swipe my way a lot, especially on that because I don't want to get spoiled.
Right.
But I do go back and read them after the fact.
So...
But yeah, my phone was definitely pinging.
Yeah, a lot.
Yeah, quite a bit.
Fucking lot. We gained over 100 followers that night. We got a lot of retweets, a lot of comments, a lot of questions and stuff, and that's what I was doing. So my phone was dying because I was responding to all that shit and things like that. I still watched a strong part of the show. Like the time that I left was when Lashley was coming out to face Seth, and I had to go put my phone in the charger, and I came back for the IC match, so I missed Heath
That was
Slater.
another solid match.
Yeah.
People are
Yeah.
bitching. I'm like, dude, that was one of Lashley's best matches of the fucking year.
Yeah.
Like, what are you talking? Like, people are bitching about Raw. I mean, like, what are you talking about?
People will bitch to bitch. So I had most of my time was spent on the Twitter and tweeting out all the stuff, photos and everything. I like some fucking WWFoldschool.com picked up one of our tweets.
I saw that. I did see that.
They picked up our tweet and used it to show that Ruby had her hair cut. And they used my picture and everything like
Which,
that. And I
by
was
the
like,
way,
cool.
I disagree with you on that.
I think she's hot no matter what.
No, I
You like longer hair?
I didn't like her look with the short hair, but then like she grew, or they gave her extensions, whatever.
No,
Or a
she
little-
grew her hair. Her hair was
a little
actually,
of both, whatever.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
It's
for
like,
sure.
it's like
She
no,
has
her
a-
hair's long now. I was like, she's hotter.
She has a nose only a mother could love.
Dude, Jake is gonna fucking kill you.
Oh, whatever. Do something.
Yeah, that's what he's gonna do. Yeah, new Jake something. That's what she does.
Are they really dating?
Yeah.
Oh, no shit. Sorry, bro. I think the girl's hot.
Yeah, as a matter, it was
Tell her
funny.
to get her nose fixed.
I don't know, man. I don't like chicks with short hair.
You know what? I'll agree. My forte for women is definitely long hair as well.
If I wanted to fuck a bitch with short hair, I'd just fuck you.
What's up, baby?
Well, now I'm going to grow my hair out, ass.
Kidding.
Just to get laid by Joe. Put it in my oven, baby.
All the way in the back. All the way.
Roasted. So yeah,
I'm done.
I still admit I had a fun time at Raw. I thought Raw was fun, and I agree with you. It's when it's more like a house show and it's just flowing, it feels better. You're getting less of the okay, what's going on now, and more of the man. This is good pace. It was a good pace. I also skimmed through it to see, the things that I missed and everything, and to see how things translated. Because there was a lot of fucking people shit talking that tag women's match, the 6-woman tags match. Oh, here we go again. It's this, okay, yeah, but it still had spots, and the fans were still invested in it. There was a lot of huge pops for Sasha throughout the night, and I was like, look, man, it's getting people into it. I'm sorry you hate the fact that you're seeing it again, but I'm annoyed when I saw fucking AJ and Daniel going against each other at the Rumble again, but it's like, still going to put on a really good fucking match. And I'm going to be, at the end of the day, I'm going to be like, okay, we could stop with this now, but man, that was a great match. Or the Usos and the fucking New Day. God, but man, what a great fucking match. Wrestle forever. Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens.
We do that a lot, I was going to say.
Yeah, we get real upset about things happening again, and then it happens, and we're like, oh, that was really good. Nah, son of a bitch. Shouldn't have bitched so much. So, but that being said, I had a blast at Raw. I thought WWE has made some baby steps towards the future, and I can't wait to see what happens down the line.
The one thing they put their foot in their mouth about, and it kind of works because it's not on TV, so nobody else saw it that wasn't in the arena. But they were telling Seth, like, if you don't win your match, you won't get a title shot, blah, blah, blah. And then they come out for the dark match, which was Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins inside a steel cage for the Intercontinental Championship. And Shane's like, yeah, all that shit we said earlier, yeah, we changed our mind.
Right.
He literally came out and said that.
Well, that's how Shane got his job anyway, by someone changing his mind the next day.
So,
By losing to the Undertaker.
That's right.
And be like, you're beat up.
You lost.
Why don't you come be my
But you can still get the
commissioner?
job anyway.
WrestleKingdom 13 coming up from New Japan Pro Wrestling.
Whoop-de-whoop.
It's happening at 3 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, Friday night. 3 a.m. Of course, the major stuff beginning pre-show featuring one match will start at 2 a.m.
So when do I got to start watching? Like 7 a.m.?
Whenever you want, man.
Yeah.
Well, I want to see the Jericho match, so like 7 a.m.?
Because it's like a
You
6-hour
can,
show.
it's streaming. It's
Watch it
on
whenever you
demand.
want.
You can watch it
but
whenever
I'm
you
saying, like,
want.
if I wanted to watch it live, I watched the last Jericho match live, and I had to watch it at 7 a.m. right before I went into work.
I'd probably say 6 a.m.
Yeah, but they
Yeah,
were the main.
it was like 6:30. I was on my ride in.
I would probably go 5.
Oh, not why? Because it's lower on
No,
the
they're-
card now?
No, they're the semi-main.
Yeah, so I mean that's why I say 5 because they were the main event last time, weren't they?
They were
No.
semi-main.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, because then next was Okada.
Yep.
All right. So again, for anyone, if you go and you could do two things. You can either stream for 999 yen the New Japan World app.
What's that, like 50 cents American?
Nope, it's $9.78.
Oh.
I know this because I get charged every
So it's
fucking
50,
month.
so it's 50 cents off. Got it.
Yeah. Or you can pay the pay-per-view price of $34.99. You can watch it on Fight TV.
Yeah, I'll pay the 7 or 9.87.
Right, like even if you're like, oh, that's so stupid. Why wouldn't you just get I mean, unless you can't get it. I don't know why you couldn't get it. I can get it, and I have an Apple product.
So,
I would say
the New Japan World app is on the Amazon Fire Stick.
Yeah, that's how I have it on there.
So you can get it on there.
I think I have Mikey's login in there.
Or
too.
just-
so I don't even got to pay the.
I have my computer hooked up to my TV. I just use that.
Yeah, my I can cast from.
They
my
need
Apple
to get
app.
a fucking. They need to get like a Roku app and an Xbox 360 app. That's what they really need.
I will
They
say
have a Roku app.
New Japan.
Oh no, I'm sorry. Different wrestling promotion.
I will say that I have.
Which one were you thinking?
WWE.
All right, guys. So back to this. I have the iPhone app, and I streamcast
Cast
it
it.
right to my devices. So yeah, however you can get it, definitely get it. Let's talk about this Wrestle Kingdom 13 card. We'll talk a little bit about each match as we go along. First is the never open weight 6-man championship #1 contenders match. This is on the pre-show. Joe, you're going to correct me with all of these things that I don't know.
Shoot.
Here we
Togi
go.
Makabe,
Makabe.
Toru Yano,
That's right.
Ryusuke Taguchi,
Who fucking cares? That guy sucks.
yep, versus Yuji Nagata, Jeff Cobb.
Yuji Nagata from the famous Nagata Lock.
Okay,
Which you've
well,
heard of, I'm sure.
there's no extra A on this one. So Jeff Cobb and Dave Finlay versus Haruki Goto, Beretta, and Chucky T versus Minoru Suzuki, Lance Archer, and Davey Boy Smith Jr. versus Hangman Page, Yujiro Takahashi, and Marty Scurll. This match is replacing the annual New Japan Rumble.
Oh, that kind of sucks. I liked that.
Yeah. So
I mean, guys like Scott Norton and Haku would come out and the great Kabuki. That shit was fun.
Scott Norton.
So what are your thoughts on this match right here, Joe? Any big?
It's a typical multi-man tag match that's on your underneath card for New Japan shows, except for this one is for title.
Yeah, never open weight 6-man
Which is
championship.
basically their...
No, this is the #1 contenders match.
Okay, yeah. And then the winner of this will
Fight for
fight for the title later on in the night. Okay, so you've got your makeshift Bullet Club guys, which, because the Bullet Club, none of these guys are really in it anymore, but it's Scurll, Takahashi, and Page.
Yeah.
Yuji Nagata is actually taking Michael Elgin's place. Because Yuji Nagata is like a living legend. He's like in his 50s now.
Okay.
It works different in New Japan. Like, instead of guys just riding off into the sunset, they actually go reverse and go back down the card, you know, kind of
Right.
just to stay in the business. But anyway, he's taking Elgin's spot because Elgin had I don't know the exact injury, but he had a bad injury. And then you've got the Killer Elite Squad, which is Davey Boy Smith Jr. and Lance Archer. You know who Lance Archer is,
Yeah.
don't you?
Yeah.
Lance Hoyt.
Mm-hmm.
He's a big name in TNA back in the day. Did
Yeah.
a cup of coffee in WWE.
Coffee.
And then you got the best friends, Chucky T and Beretta, who are pretty entertaining, actually. And Goto, who's a badass. As far as predictions for that one, I don't know.
I picked Goku.
Well, he's not in it. Vegeta
Just
is.
said his name.
He said Goto.
I mean, if I'm looking at this on paper or on my phone, actually, I'm going to say, well, these are different factions. The Taguchi Yano Makabe team, that's like named after Taguchi. That's like Taguchi Japan or something. Cobb and Finley and Nagata, I don't even know what faction they're from. But Davey Boy, Lance, they're Killer Elite Squad tag team, and Minoru Suzuki, they're Suzuki-gun. Like I said, Scurll, Takahashi, and Page, that's like a makeshift Bullet Club
yeah.
team. And I believe Beretta, Chucky T, and Goto are part of Chaos.
Okay.
I guess if I had to fill out a bet sheet right now, a pro wrestling scorecard, I'd pick Suzuki-gun.
Okay. Next is the never openweight championship match. Kota Ibushi, the champion, defending against Will Ospreay.
This match is going to be fucking sick.
Yes.
This could steal the show. This would be something that we would have clamored to see a few years ago in the CWC. They had Ibushi, but they didn't get Ospreay. These guys are going to fucking tear it down. It's going to be crazy.
What are your predictions on this?
I'm going to go Ibushi.
Okay. IWGP Junior Tag Team Championship match. Yoshinobu Kanemaru. Did I get that right?
Yeah, Kanemaru.
Man, I am so good. And El Desperado.
Also, they're also members of Suzuki-gun.
Nice. Are the champions, and they're defending against Rabagi 3K.
Sho and Yo.
And
Those are Rocky Romero's boys.
yep, Bushi and Shingo Takagi.
They're Shingo Takagi. Takagi. No, Takagi. He's the newest LIJ member from Dragon Gate.
Okay.
Just came over to New Japan from Dragon Gate. Yeah, I'm gonna go with LAJ on that one.
Okay.
Takagi. We used to go to Ring of Honor shows back in the day. Right after the inception of Ring of Honor, and they used to do some touring. Like they'd bring Dragon Gate guys over, and so I've actually seen Shingo Takagi live way back then.
Oh wow.
When Dragon Gate used to do business with Ring of Honor. So like I said, he was a big addition to Los Ingobernables in the absence of Yujiro. Or I'm sorry, the other Takahashi. The guy that's injured right now. Yumiro? The guy with the fucking cat, Daryl. You know what I'm talking about?
Nope. I can honestly say I haven't watched New Japan in a couple months.
Hang on. He
Yeah,
got
me too.
actually injured in a match, I think, against Ospreay earlier this year.
Oh,
Is that the one
okay.
that broke his fucking neck?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they...
Isn't it Hakiro Tanashi or something like that?
Yeah.
Some name like that. All right, let's move on. Rev Pro British Heavyweight Championship. Tomohiro Ishii is the champion, defending against Zack
Hiromu
Sabre.
Takahashi is his name.
Takahashi, all right.
They all call him Hiromu. Okay. Anyway, go on. Sorry.
Tomohiro Ishii, champion, defending against Zack Sabre Jr.
Ishii is the Stone Pitbull, the guy with no neck, the guy who's maybe one of, in my opinion, the most underrated performers in New Japan. Kenny Omega and Tanahashi and Okada and guys like that get all the attention. But Ishii has wrestled all these people and put on classic matches. He can wrestle anybody. He also does a lot of business in England for Rev Pro. He's got
That's why
that.
he's the title.
He's got the Rev Pro title right now. He's gonna drop it
You think
to Zack Sabre
Zack
for
Sabre
sure.
is
Yeah,
what- Here's your prediction?
yeah,
All
for
right.
sure. He's holding that belt to drop it to Zack Sabre Jr.
He's a transitional
Yeah.
champion. Ah, motherfucker.
Which sucks. I mean, it doesn't suck, but I really like that guy. He's awesome.
I think he's a badass.
and
as
and
well. Agreed.
I've actually grown to like Zack Sabre Jr. I know we dogged him a lot during the CWC.
We dogged his style, not necessarily.
And I continue to dog him after I watched him for a couple years in New Japan. Didn't really. I just continue to see the same things that I saw in CWC or lack thereof. Not
Right.
seeing the hype that everyone else. But he's also a member of Suzuki Gun. He's an uber heel right now. Really arrogant, really cocky. Thinks he's better than everybody. And he's been putting on some pretty great matches as of late. So I've actually kind of changed my opinion on him lately. I've grown to like him.
Nice. IWGP Tag Team Championship match. The Gorillas of Destiny. GOD,
God.
the Tongas, the Firing Squad, Bullet Club. Champions defending against Evil and Sonata, who was LIJ.
LIJ.
Yep. And the Elite Young Bucks.
Possibly their last appearance in New Japan.
Very possible, very possible. For at least a while. So, break down this match.
Well, I don't see the Bucks going over. That's for sure. I believe the Tongans hold it right now.
Yes, they are the champions.
I'm picking LIJ for this one.
Yeah?
Yeah, those guys they're getting to be to the white hot level.
Okay.
So,
Smart Money puts the belt on them.
yeah.
All right. IWGP United States Championship
Here's your
match.
WWE match.
Cody,
Here's your sports entertainment match for the night.
the champion, versus the man that Orlando Christopher trained, Juice motherfucking Robinson.
Who is super popular over there.
Yeah, he's
Now,
really over.
Yeah, he's over. I'm picking Juice, man. Juice.
Makes sense. The Bucks aren't winning. Cody's not winning.
Cody's not. He's got nothing signed with this company. He's got no real ties to this company. Juice does, though. Juice is a New Japan guy. He's New Japan loyal, loves that company, only wants to work for that company, so it only makes sense for him to win this match.
Yeah, makes sense. IWGP Junior Heavyweight Championship, Kushida versus Taiji Ishimori.
This is the newest member of the Bullet Club, Ishimori. He also did some work recently in Impact. He's the new Bone Soldier of the Bullet Club.
Okay.
He's a little badass. He's like a little Dynamite or Davey Boy or Benoit. Like he's a little,
Oh, really?
stacked.
And technical and
Yeah, brick
Okay.
shithouse motherfucker. He's awesome. He's pretty awesome actually. This could be like a sleeper show stealer match too. Cause
You all right over there, Z?
Yeah, just all the Benoit comments fluttering in my head. man.
Crispin. This could be like a sleeper match of the night match. I don't think it'll be match of the night, but I think it's gonna.
You could be number 2.
It has potential.
I think it's gonna surprise people. Like people are gonna be like, "Fuck, man!" Like going to like not expecting anything out of it,
Okay.
and coming out of that match being like, "Dude, that was a good fucking match."
Do you think Kushida retains or?
I think Kushida wins
Okay.
because he's just super popular.
Okay. Up next is Kazuchika Okada versus Jay White.
Grudge match.
Grr.
This is tough.
Bullet Club member Jay White.
Yeah, the new leader of the Bullet Club.
Yeah, switchblade.
I really don't know on this one because Jay White, he's got a lot of momentum right now, and Okada really hasn't been the same since he lost the title to Kenny. He started getting some traction back as of late, but he has been kind of off on like a weird spin since he lost the title. So this one, I really don't know. I guess if I had to flip a coin, I'll say Jay White.
That's what I was going to think too. I figure if you're going to announce a dude as a leader of the Bullet Club and you're trying to make the Bullet Club a strong enough faction again, he's going to have to go over.
But Okada was and could still be like the company guy, like the Cena, the Roman. So I don't know.
Okay. The match that everyone at this table is talking about, the IWGP Intercontinental Championship match. Chris, the Ayatollah of Rock and Rolla, Mr. Y2J, Mr. Please Put Us on Cruise 2J, hashtag BDR
You
for
better
Cruise 2J.
curb that AEW is going to suck talk if you want that to happen.
Hey, no, Chris Jericho appreciates my honesty. As a matter of fact, Chris Jericho loves our blurry photo with each other. He said it harkens
That
back
was
to
the worst photo you
It was so, I know. It was so fucking bad, dude. He said he loved it. Harkens back to the cameras when you couldn't figure out. You couldn't just look at the photo to see if it was good enough and you had to go develop it.
That was a nice way of him calling you a dumbass for
Right.
not being able to use
I
your
agree.
camera.
I agree. Because then my camera was used for someone else next. And he took a really
Took a
good
great photo, I'm sure.
crystal clear. It was awesome.
I can see here.
Isn't that just the way it works?
Hey, Mikey, take your time and
My,
focus.
my photo was the drizzling shits. Chris Jericho, the champion, defending against Mr. Tetsuya Naito.
Naito wins.
Agree.
Agree.
But
But-
this is also this is the other grudge match on the card. This is going to be a fucking fight.
Yep.
This is going to be different than every other match on the card, as was their last one. This is going to be violent, ugly, mean. Jericho's going to come off looking like a piece of shit.
Which he does so well.
Yeah, I mean, it almost seems too easy for him. But
That's
yeah,
why he hasn't put us on the cruise yet. No, I'm a heel for you guys.
but no, this is gonna
was a piece of shit.
this is gonna be what JR would say a slobber knocker. This is gonna be probably the most violent match on the card.
Everybody just put tweet I am Jericho at I am Jericho. We want BDR on Jericho's cruise too. If you're listening to this, that's all we want. Hashtag BDR.
There will be an
Cruise
announcement
2J.
regarding that later this month as well,
I know.
along with the AEW.
But again,
announcement.
hashtag BDR for Cruise 2J.
They're saying early 2020 for the next cruise.
BDR for Cruise 2J. Hashtag.
And I'm pretty sure you can bet your ass that the wrestling on this cruise will be presented by AEW instead of Ring of Honor.
How pissed would Allie be if that's where I took her for a honeymoon?
She'll love it. It was a fucking blast.
I'll love it.
Dude, it was a fucking nonstop party. She'll love it.
Hashtag BDR for Cruise 2J.
And this is a shoot. You do not have to be a wrestling fan to have fun on that cruise.
Oh, it's a cruise ship, and you're sailing in.
There's other stuff too,
Yeah.
though. There's like bands, there's comedy, there's all
Just tell
kinds of
her that
shit.
you're taking her on a cruise with a honeymoon.
Yeah, dude. She'll be fine. Trust me. It's a fucking cruise.
Hashtag BDR for Cruise 2J. Okay? Get us on that. Get us on. You'd love to see us. We're fucking. Dude, we're the fucking best fucking thing in the fucking world. We're inappropriate.
The fucking world.
Yeah, the fucking world. And the main event, the IWGP Heavyweight Championship match. Kenny Omega, the soon-to-be WWE superstar.
You think so, for real?
We're breaking it here
Yeah, 100%.
right now. I'm breaking it. It's signed. It's signed. He's in WWE. You will see him at Elimination Chamber, and it's him who is taking the Universal title off of Brock Lesnar.
All right, I don't know what he's been drinking.
I want to see
whole
where
time.
I want to see this contract.
But he does have a sit down with Vince and Triple H too.
That doesn't mean it.
I know.
I agree. Doesn't mean anything. But I'm saying it now.
But it's one
You
step
heard it
closer.
here on hashtag BDR for Cruise 2J. You heard it here. Kenny Omega will sign with WWE. They will throw him money and guarantee him a shot for Brock's title at the WrestleMania 35.
I think you're better off having him win the Money in the Bank and stealing it from Lesnar. Just a thought, though.
Or
I think he's better off staying away.
let the cleaner be the cleaner. That's all we want.
But if
I'm
they
gonna
are going good in this new direction, would you still feel that way? Like in a year from now, if
I
you're
don't
like,
know. I was
holy
just
shit.
about to say that. Like, Mike, give me a year. Ask me that again in a year.
Kenny Omega, the champion, defending against Hiroshi Tanahashi.
Tanahashi goes over.
I agree.
Yeah. If you're involved in anything elite, you're gone. You're losing all these matches. Maybe.
That's why they all went over and all in.
No shit. I get it now. How do you feel about? Do you think this is going to be a good match? A lot of people are bitching.
For sure.
A lot of people are bitching about Tanahashi.
A lot of
possibly
people are
taking it.
stupid.
They're saying that it's the old guard. If they're talking about taking New Japan to the next wave.
Let me tell you something, dude.
Okay.
Tanahashi still has it.
Joe Hogan.
Tanahashi is
He has what?
a
What does he have?
Hulk Jogan.
he has it. It. Tanahashi's a rock star.
BDR at Cruise for Y2J.
BDR 4.
Yeah. 4, like the number 4?
Yeah, number 4.
You never said that before.
BDR number 4. Cruise number 2. Letter J.
No, like a year and a half, 2 years ago, Tanahashi was getting pretty riddled with injuries, and a lot of people were kind of writing him off, thinking he was getting towards the end. But he's had a pretty awesome resurgence as of late, and I mean, he's still putting on like extremely high quality matches. It's not like you're watching like fucking hip replacement Roddy Piper versus fucking 44-year-old Hulk Hogan and WCW, you know? Like, this guy can still go, and him and Kenny are going to put on a barn burner, and it's the main event for a reason.
Yeah.
Like, New Japan does not get nostalgic with their older talent. Like I was saying earlier, if their older talent wants to stick around, fine. You're going to be on the undercard. You're going to be opening up shows and multi-man tag matches, and then you're going to go to the commentary desk or whatever for the, you know, like what Liger does, you know?
Yeah.
So they're not like guys that just keep clinging on to. They're not a company that clings on to older has-been talent. He's in the main event because he can still go. So, and Kenny's future is obviously uncertain. You guys are speculating WWE. I don't know. But I don't think his future is very long-term with New Japan. So, yeah, Tanahashi, and then probably Tanahashi's going to drop it to Jay White down the road. And then Jay White will be the guy.
So maybe Jay White.
So Tanahashi will be like your transitional champ.
Ooh. Transition Ashi.
I like that.
I like that too.
All right. So.
And then maybe Jay White and Okada can feud down the road later after that, and Okada can maybe get another shot at it again. Because he's still a young guy.
Right. That's it for us, boys and girls, children of all ages. Podcast Detroit broadly brought to you the most inappropriate champions of the world. Breaking out of the ring. That was it. I wasn't trying to be all stealing.
I was wondering if we were like supposed to say our names at this point, or where we were
No,
going
no,
with
no,
that.
no.
or-
Pause for like, are we waiting for another Jericho hashtag or?
No, same. Hashtag BDR. Number 4, Cruz. Number 2, J. Hashtag
Jericho Cruz, part 2.
no. Cruz 2J. Stop speaking in French.
Well, no, he did market it like that. He
I
did.
understand, but I don't care. I'm speaking in different dialects now. Hashtag BDR for Cruz 2J. Get it trending.
I feel like your face is like about to be like open up and cut in half, like the Canadian people in South
Hey,
Park.
guy. I'm not your buddy guy.
Jericho
You know what?
Cruz part 2.
We're going to say that to everybody on the dock as we're floating away on Cruise 2J.
Ah, yes.
We're not your podcast guy.
I'm not your guy, buddy.
Or we're going to say that as everyone's leaving the dock. It's like, God damn it again. Guys, follow us on all of our social media. Thank you so much. BDRcast on Twitter, where you can see this show live every Wednesday, 9:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We show it, video it, then put it up on our YouTube. So go to YouTube at BDRcast. You can type that in. Type in Breaking Down the Ring. It'll take you right to our channel. Facebook at BDRcast. Instagram at BDRcast. We hope you guys have had a great and safe New Year's Eve. If you're listening to this, we can't wait to bring you more inappropriate, awesome content for the entire 2019. Hope you also had a great Christmas and you at least got one fucking thing that you wanted. One. Z, how was your Christmas?
Christmas was good.
All right.
New Year's, a different story.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
What happened?
I broke my tooth that Friday before Raw, and I had to go get it drilled
Oh, yeah,
on
that's right.
Monday. And right about the time we were supposed to go out, all the numbing fluid wore off, and it hurt like a motherfucker.
Pussy.
Yeah, no, it was bad, dude. It
Yeah, I
was
know.
throbbing. And then I had to hear Shane talk in the back. Yeah, it wasn't good. It wasn't good at all.
Joe, how was your Christmas and New Year's?
It was good. Christmas was fun. Christmas Eve was fun. New Year's, I was in bed before midnight.
Yeah.
Like a true dad.
Old man Joe.
That's right.
Now, this is your daughter's first Christmas?
It was.
How'd that go?
She made out like a bandit.
As they always do.
Right?
Yeah.
Look at all these toys I don't give a shit about.
No, it was fun. We had her over. My family's on Christmas Eve, and her mom's family's on Christmas Day, and she was the star of both parties. So
Fuck
it
yeah,
cool.
she was. That's how it happens.
And she would like to go on the cruise for Jericho.
Hashtag BDR for Cruise 2J.
She might end up on this one, man.
That's fine. If we get fucking booked, dude, that means they're putting our families on too. I'm in. Fucking BDR for Cruise 2J.
I don't. Mikey doesn't speak for me. I'll just take 2 tickets, please.
Well, I mean, yeah, they're gonna. I mean, that's all they're probably gonna give all of us. But I mean, I'm assuming a baby can go on as part of it.
And since Chris is part time, we could just split his tickets.
He won't show anyway.
You only get half.
Right? You're like,
He won't show unless he's wrestling.
Right. He'll probably be booked though if he's on a podcast and Jericho finds out we have an actual
Hey,
wrestler.
man. Orlando could be in AEW.
Yeah,
Whoa.
Maybe that's what he hasn't been telling us. Maybe this is what he's been training for.
yeah, it's gonna be ACW, all Christopher wrestling.
All Florida wrestling.
Avid Pro Elite.
Miami, got Tallahassee over here.
Avid Elite Wrestling. It's really a combination.
Avid
of it all.
Amalgamation Elite.
Thank you so much for listening, ladies and gentlemen. We really appreciate it. Thank you so much. We are your ring crew.
Please don't beat me up. This is just Z. Thanks, Jake.
You can go ahead and beat him up, Jake. Whole fucking joke.
Fuck you, Joe.
And me, the all Mikey one, Mikey himself. We are out.